What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined here today by the one and only Ben Nissim. You guys all know Ben, and we got
What up? What up?
fucking Ben Nissim. And then we got a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. We got Enable on here to join us as well and give his thoughts. And um,
Bring up the tier box so people can see what shirt I'm
What?
you're
wearing.
right.
Ben,
You're right.
Ben just interrupted.
No, no, no. He's
No,
right.
they
You're
gotta-
right.
they gotta
You're
see
right.
I'm wearing a good shirt today. It's a good vibe.
Oh, you got the Tiny Terrors. You fucking.
Got the-
Oh
Terror shirt.
God, where the fuck's your lighting at, Ben?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Fucking
saying.
horrible light.
No
Okay, what's
lighting out of the kid.
Hold on, Pete.
What do you
Pete,
live in the
inside.
dark?
What are you, an amateur? Is this your
Come
first
on,
rodeo,
bro.
man?
It's your first
Pete, Pete,
podcast.
please.
Come on, man.
Okay.
And then we got Enable guys. Ian, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Tomas, feeling good.
I like
I've seen
that.
people cooking my predictions, bro. Yeah, my CDL pick'ems is trash.
Yeah, my shirt too.
To be fair, everyone's is probably just out the window.
I'm gonna be
but-
honest. My predictions are kind of spot on right now. I had Toronto winning 3-2. I got that right. I had LAG winning. I got that right. Which was a bold.
Wait,
No,
you had LAG win, really?
yeah. Well, no. What happened was Ben said that LAG was gonna get smoked 3-0, and then I said I don't know. I think LAG might take this one, but we'll go with 100 Thieves like 3-2. But I think LAG can definitely take it. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
And they took it, man. You know,
LA,
they came
yeah,
out to fucking
dominant.
play, man. The only one I was off on was the New York OpTic. I mean, you know, I went with my guys. So I always got to go with my
You
guys.
have to, yeah, you have to.
And that one, you know, we'll get into that. But Big Brucey just had a field day today. I think
2.0.
yeah, Dashy just went the fuck off, man. So there's not really much to say there. But we could get right into it, Ben. I'm gonna bring it up on stream, and we can start with the first series. We'll go in order.
I'm
The
gonna start
first
the first
series of the
series.
day, we had LA Thieves versus LAG. Obviously, LAG came up on top to a lot of people. This was an upset. But we do have Enable in the call today, and obviously that's his squad. So, Ian, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, you know, on after watching that match.
Oh, dude.
What's going on, bro?
This is oh no,
And you heard it here. The gasp.
I'll be honest, like I don't think Gorillas, like I think the Gorillas are actually, they could be an underrated team now. But going into this series, I thought there was no shot in hell that the Thieves would lose it.
Mhm.
Just because when you look on the, like, and I'm gonna sound like I'm a fucking hater. Oh wait, sorry, can I curse?
Yeah, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
God.
You're talking.
Oh,
You
okay.
forgot who you're fucking talking to.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. There's nothing against the LAG guys, but like, you see the talent on both teams. You know, and it doesn't just come down to talent, but like,
Yeah.
well, it definitely favors one
Yeah,
of these LA teams, and it's not the Gorillas.
Mhm.
But LAG looks phenomenal, and Thieves looks bad, dude. And I think it just comes down to like their fundamentals and their teamwork.
Yeah.
The toughest thing about it is because obviously I'm in the same boat that you are with New York, right? I'm
Mhm.
always going to root for them. They're my boys. I want to see them win.
Yeah.
But I also know all of the players personally, right? And you know, because you know these players too. Like you know their personalities, their attitudes. I'm worried that this loss could be the beginning of like the downfall for this team.
Yeah.
Not saying they haven't been like the best team, obviously,
Yeah.
but if they don't get their shit situated soon, I think there's just going to be a lot of attitude problems, personality clashes, and it'll be kind of like how it was on the Black Ops 400 Thieves team,
Yeah.
where we had to just make a team change,
Mhm.
not even necessarily for someone better in skill, but just to switch the dynamic up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that happen because it is so early in Cold War, but like I know how they are. I know
Yeah.
the personalities on the team. Like I feel like it might come down to that, especially if they don't have like a loser's run
Yeah.
starting tomorrow.
I think that's what I was gonna say. I think it really does depend on what kind of happens throughout the weekend, you know. So they
Mhm.
come out, they get smoked. You know, it is what it is. But now they gotta bounce back. You know, the type of caliber of players that are on this team. You want to see them make a run. You want to see them bounce back, or at least fight and show some signs of life. You know, like you
Yeah.
want to see them show some signs of life so they can go back and just build off of whatever they can build off of. You know, they got to come out to play, man, and it's not going to be easy because you know how much all these teams, Ian, are preparing. You know, like
Oh, yeah.
they're all preparing so much. Every team is playing so much, so it's not going to come down to talent these days. You know, talent's obviously a factor, but there's a lot more that goes into it, especially with only 4v4 now. Like the talent pool, we were talking about this the other day, is shrunk, right? So it's just like there's so much more talent in the league spread out across all teams that every team can win a match. You know, it's like whoever shows up on the day and who has the better teamwork, and I think that's ultimately gonna come down to what it was. But Ben, what do you think? After watching this, like, what were your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts were, I think we kind of all underestimated LA Gorillas because looking at how this map video came out, and we'll look at map two, like it actually set up pretty nice for LA Gorillas in
I didn't
terms of
underestimate them, but
their set. Well, I did, so
you definitely
I'll
did.
take the blame for that one. I think to kind of play a glass half full thing, Ian,
Mhm.
on LA Thieves,
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're kind of on a 6 match losing streak right now against Dallas and a very hot LA Gorillas team. But you know, they got good individual performances from the players that are sort of the X factor players in this team. I
Yeah.
think it's rare that Kenny and Slasher are both going to have a bad series again. Like, I don't see that as a repeat. That being said, you know, Toronto, and we'll get to their series later, are going to be their opponents when they go into losers. And they are riding a little bit of a high streak. So if you're Thieves, you know, focus up, watch VOD. You now got a lot of tape on Toronto. Execute tomorrow, and you'll be in a good spot. Definitely, teams can make a good losers run in this format.
Yeah.
You're definitely right. I just and I guess I'm playing. Well, I wouldn't even say devil's advocate, but the biggest thing for me, because it's not like it's chalked right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
not trying to make it sound like that, but there's a difference between losing a series, right, and losing 3-0 and kind of just getting bodied off the map. You,
Mhm.
you
yeah.
know, and you know the players on LA Thieves, like, yeah, you play against Empire. They have a little bit different of a level of respect compared to the players on Gorillas. You know,
Mhm.
no, and that's no disrespect to the Gorillas. That's just
How it is.
every team play. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's just
that's
how
the
it is.
mindset you have to
Even
have as
amongst
a
the
competitor.
fans, even
Yeah,
amongst the fans, they think
and
the same
so
way.
like for them to lose how they did today, like it's so obvious to me that it's something internally that is the issue. Like, bro, they're not getting 3-0 by Gorillas because Gorillas are just that much better than LA Thieves. You know what I'm saying? Like, no team in
Mhm.
the league, like, well, when you're supposed to be a top team, when you have the talent,
Yeah.
you know, you're not playing the game correct. That's what it comes down to. It's not just
Mhm.
like they're getting out fucking skilled.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, if we want to talk about this map, like ultimately, this came down to LA Gorillas just getting all the money all the time, and
Yeah. I
like if you
mean,
did that
Oh yeah, I mean, dude,
on
they ran
checkmate,
circles
it's
around
easy.
them.
It's
yeah,
easy to
and
easy to
and
do.
this is what I was saying to Asim, right? Because I saw the same problems with New York. Is you see teams really focusing on those money hills, Ben, where there's hills on every map where you can chain. You know, like there's a lot of
Yeah.
chains on different maps. Like in checkmate, I think 1 and 2 is a chain. Like if you can hold one side of the plane, like get some time, contest whatever, it's gonna be a contest fest, and then keep sponsor P2. You could chain those together, right?
Well,
And then
I
what?
think I think 1-2 is kind of harder than like P3
Yeah, that's what I was
P4
about to
is.
say, and then I was gonna keep going. And then the next chain would be the third, 4, 5, because
Yeah.
you could chain 3, 4, 5 really, really well. I mean,
No, pretty easily.
three's a little bit more mixy, but if you have full control of 4 and you're spawning them P2, and you get all that time, and now you have spawns for next, and they're just kind of flooding in the open, you know, and they have to try and flood through plane and try and make a play. I mean, that's where you see teams just really taking the lead.
Well,
You know,
that's what
they
happened
start
in New
chaining hills.
York.
Yeah, that's
New York went
exactly.
4 dead on rotation to P4
Uh huh.
after it's basically splitting P3, and then
And they're
they didn't
screwed.
get any time on P4 or
Yeah.
P5, and then you're just down 70-80 at that point. If you
Mhm.
get flipped on P1, the game's basically over.
And another thing I wanted to say, Ian, because you're saying the fundamentals are off and stuff for 100 Thieves right now, and I agree. It's just weird to me because when you look at the roster, I feel like this is a team that was created based off fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, yes, yeah, yes and no. Like
mhm,
I agree with you
mhm,
to a certain extent, but it's different. Like me and you team with Austin obviously years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah,
You know, Austin has a very specific way of playing the game, and majority of the time, damn near every time, he's correct. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. He's a
But
smart player.
yeah, he's a very smart. I mean, one of the smartest players in the game right now.
Yeah,
But everyone who teams with him needs to just be able to swallow their pride and understand because everyone's got an ego, right?
Mhm.
yeah,
To a certain extent.
yeah.
And it showed, I think, to me, at least in this series, that their fundamentals were off. And you were saying, like how is that? Because you
Uh
think that
huh.
they'd be better on this. I think that they were kind of relying on just their talent.
Yeah.
When you look at their team, I mean, they're unbelievably talented. It doesn't matter what COD you put them in,
You know, they're
you
all
know.
talented, all 4 of them.
But LAG showed that you can't win off that. Like they
Mhm,
ran laps around them, and I think it was a mix of them just understanding the game, playing the game way better
mhm,
than the Thieves in this series, but also because, like I said, with that mindset of, oh, we're just a better team talent wise, when you're getting smoked, like look at the map right now, they're down 100 points. You
Yeah.
know the Thieves are losing full.
Yeah.
Right now, they're
No,
like, how
100%.
the fuck are we losing
You
this
could
silly
tell
right
that
now?
they're just running forward too. You could see it in the mini map. You know, it's almost like the map is chalked at this
Oh,
point.
geez.
I
And
think
like,
LEG just chained too many hills. Just went up too much.
oh, without a doubt,
Yeah.
I think they got outplayed in terms of just playing the game the correct way. In my opinion, the whole series.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe bar the SND because Thieves choked that pretty bad.
Yeah, they did. Very bad.
And
But
we'll
like,
get to that in a second.
I mean, we could just go right to it, to be
Yeah.
honest, because this map was a
I want
blender.
to close out this convo, by the way, like, because I know Reese Vivid's in the chat. Like, LA Gorillas played these 3 maps really, really well, and they should get
They're
a
a
lot of
good
credit.
team. They're
for
a
how
good
they turned out
team.
oh
today.
yeah,
Which is why
I don't want to make it. Sorry
Yeah.
for interrupting.
No,
you.
go ahead, go
I
ahead.
don't want to make it seem like I'm saying it was a fluke win because it wasn't. Or saying that the LA Gorillas team doesn't have talented players. If you're in the CDL right now, you're a talented player.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
You know, and they're clearly better than them right now. They bodied them. You know, they were the
Yeah.
better team today, and they probably are better than them in Cold War right now.
Mhm.
But that relies a lot on just their fundamentals, the teamwork aspect, you know, playing the game correctly, their communication, all that. It seemed like it was on point today.
Yeah. No, 100%. They were just all on the same page, and that's all it's going to come down to. You know, with all what I was saying before, just with 12 teams and so much talent, like it's going to come down to who's outperforming, you know, like who's going to show the teamwork, who's going to work off each other, bring the comms, like that's going to be the edge, you know? So it's like when a team's not bringing that and they're solo challenge or they're not common, which is a problem in the New York series that we'll talk about, you're going to fall flat on your face. You're gonna fall flat, and it showed here today. This S&D was crazy though, Ian. This one was nuts.
If these had a nice, so I'm gonna kind of have a couple of highlights. We're gonna show 5 different rounds here.
Yeah, and the one thing I want to make a point, at least for me watching this series in this S&D, 100 Thieves needs to work on their post bomb plant setups. Because it just seems like they got the bomb down a couple rounds, right? And they just got broke. Like, they got the bomb down with all 4 of them up, and it just looks like they're not playing tight enough or they're not holding crossfires. Like, their setups might be a little off. And I know they're going back and watching this, and they're going to realize it. And they probably realized it when it happened, that they just need to come up with better post-plant setups because they should have won this map, for sure.
Well, they should have lost this round. They clutched this round. It was a 3v2.
Yeah.
Donnie made a play here. Donnie got 3 here, and he made a play. So good plays out of Don to come out. And they go up 2-0. I'm pretty sure they go up, what, 5-2?
Yeah.
They go up 5-2, and it's like that one you have to close out. And then another thing, it's like when you go up 5-2, you're already down 0-1. You need that map. You need it.
Oh, yeah, you have to. It's huge
You
for
have to
momentum
win
and
it.
just confidence rest of the series.
Exactly. And then as soon as they lose that second map and they go down 0-2, now they're looking at they have to try and reverse sweep. And, you were just talking about the personalities on the team. I don't know how they're handling being down 0-2 like that because they shouldn't be down 0-2. It should have been tied 1-1, and they probably thought that they should have came out first map and did better.
Especially
but they got blown out.
throwing the map, too. It's like
it was a throw.
They're just, you could tell they're not on the same page right now. And I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. I'm obviously not playing with them. I'm not like in their calls, watching their scrims. That's what Cap does.
Yeah.
But you can tell that they're not on the same page. And that is the reason why they lost all those rounds they did. Like you said, after they had the bomb planted, it was like a post-plant setup.
Yeah.
Because, 2 of them are thinking, oh, we should be doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, that's why Austin is such a good in-game leader. But like, Austin, he could be a little toxic at times, but he just wants the best out of you, the best out of the
competitor.
team.
Well, I want to also make this point. So I think Gorillas probably ended up picking this map, and I was a little surprised they ended up in the pool. And I was kind of like going through the map grubbers for Thieves, and I think it's pretty clear that another problem for Thieves is their map pool right now, especially in search, like isn't that deep. And it's not putting them into great matchups against teams. So LA Gorillas right now, because they won this map, ended up being 3-0 raid. They're the only team that's undefeated that's played this map more than once.
You were surprised that it was in the map pool? Really?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. And then I went back and looked into research, and in Thieves, they're 1-0 in Moscow, 1-1 in Miami, 1-0 in Garrison. They're 0-1 in Checkmate. So I'm a little confused how this map stayed in the pool when it is clearly Gorilla's best S&D map.
Yeah, I just think Raid is just a top tier map. I think teams just like playing it because it's a good map, you know?
Yeah, but it flies in the. I mean, there's a disagreement about this veto strategy. I've always subscribed to like if you're a good team, remove like if you can, you have a deep map pool, remove the other team's best map, and square up on a map that they're not as good at. You know that you have better skill than them.
Yeah, it
They
makes sense.
may have underestimated Gorillas a little bit too much. Gorillas, we know their coaching staff's pretty good. They've got a great analyst core as well. Like you know, those guys are going to do their homework.
Yeah.
And clutched up on this map, and we'll get to what happens here shortly in like when Thieves goes up 5-2.
Yeah, I mean, you can fast forward it, Ben, because I want to
Yeah,
see
I'm
some
gonna
of
hop
their
over.
setups. You know,
Yeah,
hop
when
over.
they crumbled.
Yeah, when they crumbled, like
There's
there was
round
just
7.
there was a
Wait.
couple rounds, man, where they just got the bomb down
Yeah.
and they should have just closed it out, and they just get picked one by one by one. LAG showed really good patience, but at the same time, it's like when you're playing a team that you know plays pretty slow, you know, that's kind of like their play style, and they're very patient. It's like that needs to trigger something in your brain, you know? Like 100 Thieves needs to adapt to that and realize, like, yo, like we should just chill, play our corners, play crossfires, and let them come to us. But instead, they're getting picked, and it just ruined everything.
Well, let's see what the setup they have here. So,
So here they have one guy. They have one guy isolated, right? They have one guy isolated at Zig. He's nowhere near his team, and then they have two guys on the site. And LAG just stacks themselves. They outnumber the guys on site. I'm pretty sure they get a pick here, right? Assault looks over at Reese, and then they just outnumber them. Like there's really nothing much that Donnie and Kenny can really do when they're outnumbered. Like they're just getting swarmed from every angle.
But like, see, I don't understand why, like with their setup. I don't even know if you can rewind it.
I can.
Like, why was Donnie? I think it was Donnie trying to
go towards laundry.
Yeah, like
because you have the bomb down for Art. And that's where Austin's kind of playing, you know? So it's like Kenny's on the heady looking over you. It's like when you get the bomb down, why not just back up and stack as a team?
Yeah, I was about to say, why don't you just play around Art and you can watch mid?
And these are like the mental, this is what I'm saying. Like, these are like the little things that I'm like, they got to go back and watch this because it's like common sense shit.
Like, I guarantee you Austin lost full with that play.
He definitely did. He definitely did.
Bro, Austin was in a good spot. You see how he just got that kill?
Yeah.
If Donnie made himself a harder kill, Austin can fucking shoot over him. Even if he doesn't get the kill, he's going to tag someone up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Don dying right there, then put Ken in a really bad position, and they just got overwhelmed.
They have eyes on sight. You know, it's like just back up and just play your corners and Art together as a team, and then they just have somebody checking the bomb every 7 seconds and just making sure. And then once they're on site, then you can make a move and challenge together. You know, like do something together. And that's what I'm saying. They were just isolated. Like they were just all over the place. They got picked one by one, and LAG took advantage. They used their numbers. They took advantage, and then it happened again.
Well, so this round I wanted to highlight. I haven't seen a team do it like a double basketball setup like this, like playing for basketball. I don't know how often you get in this situation, but it works out. Assault basically has a trophy on his feet, so they blocks the nade, and he does take this chow when Kenny slides on, but he's able to get that, and now you know they just set up the crossfire app chows and they win. I just think LAG have shown they're clearly pretty good at this map. They've got some setups, they've got some ways on how they want to play. I was just again really surprised.
Right there, I mean,
the
it's a 2v2. They have basketball control. I think that just came down to losing their ones. I think it was either the next round or the last round. I think it was this round where I was like, dude, like, they get the bomb down. So they get the bomb down here with all 4 players alive. I'm pretty sure. Apathy tries to make a play through Zig. They get some info here. They know he's coming in around the back, but he backs up. But they don't know where he's gone, you know, so they think...
I remember this. They stack laundry here.
They stack laundry. Good play. They get laundry control. Now they can plant the bomb for laundry and just play stacks, you know? But they get picked here again. They slowly get picked one by one. And it's like, I don't know how this happens.
So you'll watch. Number 5, I believe, if I remember this round correctly, goes through kitchen, and they push us out LAG up. Reese is going to eventually, I think, work his way towards laundry to go help out Silly, because Silly basically keeps shouldering this angle until he sees TJ. Saul gets a pick in driveway.
So right here, I mean, you could pause it right there, Ben.
Yeah.
When Austin gets picked, it's like, again, you have a guy, first of all, you have all the head glitches in the world to work with, to watch
First
your
off,
flank.
you would never get that kill driveway in Black Ops 2, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, right off the rip, Austin's getting picked. He's in the middle of the open in ring. You know, he could be playing like on the headies, like staying alive, or just backing up, playing the rock, just playing like somewhere where they can trade. You know, and they're just getting picked. And then once Austin goes down, now it's like fuck. Now there's people laundry and they're getting pinched. They have 2 guys on one side, 2 guys on the other. Donnie's forced to make a play. Kenny or whoever Kenny's forced to make a play with him, they're getting swarmed. I mean, once Austin gets picked and then TJ goes down right after, it's like they're screwed. At this point, it's like they're absolutely chalked. And it's like and it's just little things, man. Like it's just the post plant stuff. I'm sure, obviously, it's a lot easier to talk about it, right? Like we're watching it back.
Oh
like,
yeah,
what
we
are they
don't know the
doing?
communication. Yeah,
Like coming from someone who's played the game, like Ian, we made mistakes like this all the time. And we go back and watch it and be like, dude, I'll be back watching it. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what was I thinking? Because you're micromanaging a lot of stuff in a game and you're calming different things. So I don't know where it went wrong, but it went wrong. And that's the problem.
I think even, like I said, we don't know what they were communicating in the game. There could be a million different things why they fucked up. But just watching it, it just looks like in those 2 rounds specifically, they were playing like 3-4 individuals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like
They're
it's like
picked.
someone, yeah.
And again, right here again, Ian. Bomb down, 4 alive. It's like this should be a round win for them, like 100%. Like I almost would have liked after the bomb planted, like see how like one guy's pushed up basketball area and one guy's kind of pushed up water stairs, like try and get back a little bit, like maybe 2 water stairs, two top bed, or 2 bed. So you just play tighter enough to where you can trade each other. You can let it run, Ben, because I'm curious to see how this goes down. But you have people from LAG pushing out basketball, and then they decide to double push out water stairs, so they win the trades. They take the 2 people that are isolated, get overwhelmed, and now the people bed are trapped.
Wait, both these guys were. I don't think either of these guys were.
And none of them were top. None of them were top. Both were low, which is weird too because you know how big top bed is. Like it's such a power position.
No, Austin dropped down. Austin was top bed. He just hopped off there.
Oh, you saw the steps, right?
Yeah, he just hopped down. I don't know. Maybe they got a call out. Maybe he was trying to kill App on stairs. I'm not really sure, but he was top bed there for a sec.
So again, they're just getting isolated. They're separated. They get a trade here. Then there's another guy isolated, pool stairs. He gets traded, and now it's a 2v2 with 30 seconds left. And it's like they know they're gonna be bedroom. They can't be anywhere else. They came from pool stairs. They came from basketball. They know that they're bedroom. Like there's no other place.
Off the map there, by the way.
Yeah,
Dude, if they would have lost that round, because of that.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. That would have been nuts. But right here, it's like once they lose that, man, it's like fuck. It's like this series might be chalked. They're down 0-2. They just completely threw that away. It was just a mental collapse, and it sucks to see because they should have closed this out, and the series probably should have went the distance. But LAG, shout out to them. They took their time, they used their numbers, and they played as a team, and it showed. And that's exactly why they got those breaks every time those bombs are down. But that's a frustrating one. That's a frustrating one. We can go to the control, Ben, if you want.
Yep,
we can talk about it. But at this point, it's kind of like, mentally, I feel like LAG has this in the bag. I really do. This is another big map. Like now, if you're looking for the reverse sweep, it starts with 1. And they didn't get that one. They got all 3. It starts at 1. Because, Ian, if you think about it, right, like, you win the control, and then you get that little bit of confidence back. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, now you're going to another hard point where it's like, all right, we just want to respawn. They can't mess with us in respawn. Let's fry them in this hard point. And then you're game 5. It's a tie series already. You're game 5, you get a mental reset, go to the bathroom, go talk a little bit, do what you got to do, and it's like it's anyone's game.
Fake it till you make it. Believe you can do it. It's easy to say that, Tom.
Very easy. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
As a competitor too, like you have to think like that, right? Even if you're getting bodied and you're like, wow, you gotta, you win the control. You're like, oh, we can reverse sweep, but you're also like, we gotta fucking win 2 more.
No, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to reverse sweep. It's very hard.
Like that SND would have been huge for LA Thieves, obviously, because
very huge.
You have more room for errors, whereas now you have to kind of play perfect.
It's the way they lose it too, right? I mean, the way they lose it is demoralizing.
Because I mean, you'd rather get bodied 6-0, like oh, they're clear cut. Just, they're the better team at this map. Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Being a 5-2 and then losing rounds, like you said, where you have the clear advantage.
Yeah.
Is rough.
It was hard. It was hard to watch. And like you said, knowing the personalities, I'm curious to see how they reacted to it. I haven't talked to anybody from the team, but they're frustrated.
Oh yeah, I mean. I'd be fucking tight.
Yeah, I'd be tight too. I'd be super tight.
I hope the attitudes are good, just because that's like the one thing that I was worried when they made this team.
Yeah, I hope it's good too, because they're a good team, and I don't want them to fall apart.
They've played well. Obviously, they went 0-6 in MapCon the last 2 series, and it's put them in kind of a hole. They're still in it. They've got a chance. but they've got to clean up the S&D game. It's starting to go in the opposite direction. Did a couple really good S&D games early when they went on their run, but since then it's been a little bit of a struggle bus. They'll start with Search for them.
Yeah.
I think they're still a good respawn team. We see they're not the first team to play Checkmate first map and just get mega fried. Like,
Bro, is
Checkmate's
that-
one of
is-
those
that's
maps.
happened so many times.
Yeah, I was gonna.
this play.
one of those
Checkmate
maps.
seems like such a hit or miss map. I don't
It
know
is.
why. Like,
Because there's so many chains, Ian. Like, it's all chains. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, is that do pro teams like playing that map? I feel like that. You know how like every game there's always a couple of those map. Well, I guess the map pool's not that big,
yeah.
but it's like auto vetoed. You know,
Yeah.
like no team enjoys playing it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You got
Checkmate
those
was
stats,
played
Ben?
10 times. Checkmate is the second least played. So they've only played Crossroads has only been played 8 times. There's obvious reasons for that.
Obvious reasons, yeah.
Checkmate is the second least for 10. Raid 11, Moscow 11, Garrison 20. So it's actually not that bad.
Well, at least they
honestly.
got rid of Crossroads, Ben.
Yeah.
You've been saying it all week. Why do teams keep playing
Teams-
LAG on Crossroads?
Yeah.
And they definitely got rid of that. But we can move on to the next series. This was a rough one for 100 Thieves,
This
obviously.
was kind of a wrap.
Shout out to
It's-
LAG for clutching up, doing their thing. They played well today as a squad. I'm happy for Donk. Donk was going off. He looked like his old self, so it's always good to see him frying and doing his thing. But we can move on to the next series, and this was another one, man. Just another absolute blender from New York and
Dude, I
OpTic
thought
Chicago.
this.
Well,
I thought this
a
was
close
gonna be.
start.
I thought this series could potentially be close. Like I
Mhm.
thought I had OpTic winning, but bro, the subliners looked fucking nasty lately.
yeah,
like
they
they've
look
like they've looked
nasty.
really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you're obviously going up against
The top
one
dogs.
of like the best respawn team in the game, one of the best teams in the game.
Yep, and that's one thing I want to say. And this was the one thing that I noticed. And again, like these are my guys, right? Like this is my team. I want to see them do well, but I'm gonna be brutally honest because people are gonna think I'm biased and stuff. But I'm gonna be brutally honest. I think they were nervous. I think there's a lot of young guns on the
We've seen
team,
that a lot with teams play.
Mhm.
and they're going up against OpTic Gaming, and the way they were playing just looked like they were nervous. Like they weren't challenging things they usually challenge. They weren't getting information. I saw them talking about it a little bit in the chat, but this is just what I was saying right off just watching it as it was happening. They just seemed like they were kind of holding back a little bit. And against a team like OpTic Gaming, I mean, we've played OpTic in the past, right? And teams always get nervous versus OpTic, and we used to
Oh
talk
yeah, they
about
smell
it.
blood. They smell blood
we
if
used
you're
to-
intimidated.
Yeah, bro. We used to talk about it all the time. Like, listen, don't get intimidated. Like, this is just another team. Like, we know what we're capable of. Go out and play with confidence. And if we lose going out playing with confidence and we go back and watch the map and we're trying to make plays and it doesn't work, then we'd rather lose like that than to go back and watch it and be like, damn, we just weren't even trying to win.
And,
You know?
and I think, I think you're spot on with that. Like because here's the thing: you look at New York, right? Besides Clay, I mean, I guess you could Asim has some experience, but like not that much. They're all young players,
Yep,
right?
that's what I'm
like
saying.
Diamondcod's a rookie. Mac, this is his like second year in
Yep.
the league, and that experience that they don't have is gonna fucking kill them.
Mhm.
Like early on in this game, because this is the major. Like it's different than the season than they were just playing in.
Uh-huh.
I don't care if it's online, they're still in their bedrooms. That tournament environment is way different when you lose and you drop down to losers. Like not having that
I'll
experience is
pinpoint
gonna
the
hurt
moment.
them.
Yep,
I'll pinpoint
100%.
the moment for you this exact series when this thing I was like, uh-oh.
And it was one of those things too, where it's
It's
like after as I'm
literally-
watching first map, right, and they lose the first map, I wanted to join their
Right.
call so bad and just give them a little talk and just kind of let them know, like, yo, this is what I'm noticing, this is what I'm seeing. I kind of wanted to talk to them, but I couldn't, obviously. Like, I couldn't say anything to them. But it was just one of those things where I feel like they needed a mental reset, and they never got it. They never got
It-
that mental reset, and it just collapsed. And
Yeah.
after the first map, it was chalked. What
So
are you gonna
two
say, Ben?
things. It's rare that a pro team gets outslayed by like 50 plus kills in a series. We don't see that a lot. People
Mm-hmm.
in chat saying they're getting gunned because they're not playing as a team. They're making it easy, and next in 4 men, and everybody's preeming.
To
Someone
be
like
fair,
Dash gonna
OpTic was
pop
hot,
two
Ben.
pieces.
OpTic was
Oh, they were
hot.
hot. Dash had an incredible series, but if
One
you're
of the
just
best
running
I've ever
into preems
seen.
but if you're just running into preems where someone's X and 4ing, like in this meta, you're gonna get gunned.
Yeah, I mean, it was
And,
a
like,
little
you
bit
didn't
of
show up
both.
with a
It was a
mismatch.
little bit of both, which is
Well,
why
it starts here. I mean, they go
you
4
know,
dead like right
it's-
off the bat here. You'll see,
yeah, it starts with getting gunned and,
and then
not
it's
playing as a
insta
team.
flipped. Like
So right here, this is where I'm like, dude, C1 and 4 on this left side.
yeah,
if they kill 1 and 4 and they spawn them all out on that P2 side of the map, it's like this is where you start chaining, bro. And this is where you start.
So
you
screwed,
get
'cause you can't rotate the
blendered.
P4.
You get blendered, and this is you can't let this happen. Like right now, number 4 and 1 come off spawn. They don't even need to worry about this hill right now. Like literally, play your life and try and get a kill or something. You could play it. But
Well,
instead,
I also think teams don't go left wing enough, but that's a
Yeah.
conversation.
With
anyway.
it, like, I guess I think that's something though, Tom. Like you said,
The
is
spawn
with,
trap's nutty though.
with the nerves.
hmm
It's just like they know, they practice and they probably play it that like the right way.
Yeah.
Even in the regular season games. But when you're going up against a team like OpTic and you're like, you want to make a name for yourself if you're a young guy like Mac, fucking Diamond Con, even Team.
Yep.
But all like when you're in the heat of the moment, it's a little
lose
different.
your brain. You
Yeah,
lose your
it's a
brain,
little
and you
different.
start running, and you try to run and gun, and you're like, damn, I need to start winning some gunfights, and you start trying to challenge everything and winning gunfights, and it's like, you gotta think, like you have to, and that comes over time, right, Ian? Like after a while, like you realize, like, listen, when you're down, just relax, like take a deep breath and be like, all right, look at the mini map. What do I gotta do, man? What's going on here? Let's do something together, like. That's where the leadership needs to come in from someone on the team in the middle of the game. And maybe somebody was trying to step up. Clay's very vocal. Asim's been very vocal on the team. I'm sure they've tried talking about it, but they couldn't close it. They couldn't come together. They couldn't do anything as a team. And right here, it's like once they chain this together, it's like it's chalk.
Yeah, it's CG. Yeah.
They're down by too much, man. And once you give a team like OpTic a lead, bro, they're not gonna choke it. Like they're gonna do everything they can to make every hill scrappy that they don't rotate to and hold every hill that they do rotate to. And it's
this OpTic team, you cannot let them front run maps and respawn.
all right, play the sound bend real quick. Sorry to cut you off.
You wanna listen?
Yeah, I think we should listen to it. Pause it. What were you gonna say? Because I don't want to cut you off. I want you.
Yeah, I
to
was about to say like OpTic's such a good respawn team that like if you let them front run you, if you let them get in the leads, get comfortable, like you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
And especially an inexperienced team relatively is New York. You just can't put yourself in that position. You gotta have foot in the pedal in fourth gear, foot on their neck.
Foot on the pedal is what my pops always would say.
Before you play this, I'm finna cook your chat.
Well, what do they say?
They're trying to say we're not giving credit to OpTic or LAG. Bro, we literally just said
that they're one of the best teams
that
in the
they
game.
are a top dog. They're probably the best respawn team in the game, and their S&D looked great in the series. But you guys already know that. That's why Tom is specifically breaking down subliners and letting you know from a professional player's mindset that like Diamond Con, Mac, even Asim not having the experience, they were probably nervous.
Yeah, and I also want to break it down. Did I not? It's like, did I not say this is everything I just said? Did I not say Dashy just had the series of his life and was gunning? I just said that. Did I not say that people get nervous against OpTic because they're some of the best players in the world and one of the best teams in the game? I said that. So it's like, relax, guys.
If you're not sucking the team
Relax.
who one's dick, it's like you're not giving them credit. I'm sorry. I'm going.
Because, bro, guys, we don't want to come on here and be like, OpTic is just too good. They're running around and they're gunning them. Like, come on, guys. It's not how it works. We want to break it down. We want to say, what went wrong? What went wrong for New York? Guys, this was a blowout. This should have been closer. Like, this was an absolute blowout. Of course, OpTic outplayed the fuck out of them. They outperformed them in their teamwork. They outperformed them in their gunny. They were winning all their ones. I could go all day and gas them, you know what I'm saying, guys? Relax, chill the fuck out, fuck it.
Okay, I had to get that out, bro, because they were starting.
Yeah, no, I was just ignoring them. I saw it too, but like, bro, I'm just, I'm being honest, and also this is my team, guys, that I'm criticizing. So it's like, you were for New York? Obviously, I was for New York, man. Come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? I'm on their team. What am I supposed to say? Who do you think's gonna win? I think my team's gonna get fucking worked on. What do you say? You sound stupid. All right, let's just move on. Let's just move on. OpTic's probably top 2, top 3, one of the best teams in the game. Can easily win this event if they keep playing like this. They look phenomenal. They look great.
You listening?
Yeah, and play it because I want to hear their comms and just see what they sounded like. Yeah, I do.
On time.
Hey, I'm picking up
play for me audio.
One shot, guys.
On the wood steps right now.
In wood. Wait, two there, stairs, one on hill. Another one was there. Push under B wing. One push under B wing.
Wood dead.
He's ladder dash.
Yeah, turn up. Come on.
On the wood steps, Dashy.
Alright, I'm pushing through the right. I'm gonna get a yellow crate.
Dashy, one shot.
I need one back right.
You can hear the frustrations in their voice.
Old week, and one back to back to
Oh, especially play.
Yeah.
I don't see him under B wing. Under B wing.
Don't chase.
B wing dead.
I'm coming back.
Under B wing.
One sec, I'm coming.
They're here.
You hear Asa trying to bring the positivity to get a kill. He's like,
I
nice,
love
boys.
it. Yeah, I love it.
Nice.
Boys down by 100.
Watch it die.
One more time.
That's dead.
Nice, guys.
More
Back to
mannequin
side,
heady, really weak, I'm pretty sure.
He's weak.
He's in mannequin now. He's in mannequin.
Hey, we
Push
can
him to B main.
kill us. Team good.
See, this is like the blender, right? Like,
The wall that he
they're
needs
down by
to-
so much, and OpTic's just contesting, like, not giving him anything.
Nothing what's up. I'm hopping up on the
I hit him.
right.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the luxury you get when you're up by that much. You can play scrappy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
exactly.
hold on. Let's talk about this because this map's not over. All right, 60 seconds.
It's
They
basic.
had-
pretty
they
over,
had-
man.
No. They had rotation to P2. You split some time on this hill. You can get a 60 on that hill. Suddenly it's only a 30 or 40 point game, and you can run up the score as long as you flip spawns back off of P2. Like, this was far from over. And then you'll watch what happens. They get this split, and I believe they spawn out. And at this point, the map's over. Once number 8 make this play, they get the split wood spawns.
I mean, it's doable, Ben, but it's
You gotta
almost
play damn near perfect. if
yeah,
you're
damn
subliners.
near perfect. And again, you're going up against one of the best. You like this shit? I'm about to gas the fuck out of it. You're going up against one of the best teams in the game. The best.
Yeah.
One of the best. You got Scuppy, the king of COD. You got Envoy. They call him the prince. Up and coming. You got Big Brucey, who's arguably the MVP and one of the main ARs. Formal. One of the best in the game. Best to ever do it. OpTic Gaming. Green Wall. Coming out hot.
Hey, Tom, that was fantastic.
You like that? Hey, dude, it's true though. Not, I'm joking around, but it's true. Like, they're one of the best in the game. Like, you can't at this point. It's like you gotta play near perfect, man. It's like you just can't go down like that, and that's why I was highlighting the mistakes that New York was making in the beginning. Because when you give a team like New York, like OpTic, a team a lead like this, it's chalk.
Oh yeah,
It's
they're
chalk.
gonna capitalize.
Yeah.
Because
so-
at this point, when you're up by that much, you could afford to play a little scrappier, fight more for scrap. I mean, maybe on this map it's a little different, but when you combo that with all their talent, where they could just fucking run straight into a hill, and like how they did in the plain hill, and just win their gunfights, like it's gonna be very hard to climb back into
we've
it.
been there. I've played against these guys. I know how hard they are to play. They're not a fucking easy team to play. They're one of the hardest teams I've ever played in my career.
Is
So
this
it's
map?
like, what's up?
Oh no, sorry. I was
No, you're
just,
good.
is this map like 2 M4s, 2 AK-74Us, or
This
what's like
map
the
sounds
meta?
like 4. I've
It's
seen
like-
New York pull up 4X and 4s.
Well, the thing
on
is,
this map.
Ian, is like teams are changing on hills. Like
Yeah.
certain hills, people are changing certain classes and stuff like that. So it's like all mixy. But it's definitely an AR heavy map. I feel like I don't know. It's weird because I also feel like you can hit a lot of good routes on this map as a sub. There's a lot of you could get really mixy and hit a lot of flanks, and like this map has my name all over it. When I was competing,
this is your bread and butter,
this was
brother.
my bread and butter. Checkmate was my favorite, bro, because there was just so many lanes to hit. Like you could just hit so many different lanes and so many routes. But again, good teams are gonna pick up on a lot of these routes now. So I don't know how the map is played too much now. But this is just a rad. You can go to the next
Well,
map.
I want to point out. I mean, look
What?
again, winnable. You're in a situation here.
They're bringing it back.
They're bringing it back. Rotate early. Peep number 3. Peep what number 3 does. Ready? 4 seconds left.
Yep.
3
Wait,
seconds
don't tell
left.
me he doesn't hold the spawn.
He doesn't.
Didn't
Oh,
hold his cam.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
Huge mistake, guys.
That's being nervous.
Mhm.
Okay.
Huge mistake.
That is a basic thing in Call of Duty.
No.
Ev- Everyone knows that. If you die, where
You
you can
gotta
hold your
cam.
yeah, you hold your cam. It's simple, but like that's why we were talking about it, Tom.
Mhm.
It's because people might not like. Simon Khan knows he has to hold his cam, bro. It's
Mhm.
not like he doesn't fucking know.
He knows. He probably spawned out, and as soon as he spawned out, it hit him. It hit him in the head, and he realized,
yep.
"Fuck,
He's like,
I should have
"Oh,
held."
fuck." Yeah.
And that's one of those things, bro. You have to think like that, and it'll come to him. But it got to a point for me, at least, where like when I was in a game, I realized, okay, I would wait till there was 5 seconds left, and I was like, all right, I could go rogue here because if I die, I can watch my cam. Like it's you just think you have to think, and if you don't think, like Ian said, they might have been nervous, they might have just been in rhythm. I don't know. I don't know.
He
what
probably
was going
holds
on.
his cam. He probably holds his cam 10
It's-
out of 10 out of 10
It's
times
scrims,
in
yeah.
practice.
He probably holds it every single time. And it's like it's frustrating. It's frustrating when you watch it back and you see stuff like this, and New York is gonna watch this back and they're gonna lose composure. This map, the S&D OpTic just simply outplayed them. It seemed like they were always pushing with numbers. They were always using their trades. New York was all over the place. It seemed like they didn't know what to do. They weren't playing for info. Like you just see on some of these rounds, like it looked like New York was nervous. Like they weren't playing for info, they weren't shimmying anything, they weren't getting aggressive on the map, and OpTic ran all over them. And
So
you
I
can't
have
do
a
that.
couple thoughts about this map. One is I recommend, we're not going to do it on this one, but I recommend people side by side this series with the Atlanta FaZe map. And it's night and day how Chicago plays, and they also definitely learn stuff from the map they played against FaZe and use that in this series. But yeah, I felt like just overall, just really flawless post plans from and a reach from OpTic. New York got some really bad timings in round 7. We'll talk about that. And they were just able to just run up the score on both offense and defense and really blow them out.
They got some bad timings, but OpTic definitely outplayed them in this S&D. They
Yeah,
looked a lot
OpTic
more.
definitely learned
They
from that
looked a lot
beatdown
more
from
prepared.
FaZe.
They
Well,
looked a
that's
lot
when
more
they're at.
prepared.
That's when optics at their best. Like
Yeah, right?
they've always been like that. If they're confident, they're just going to run right through you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they can tell, like the optic knows
They
they're the
smell
better
blood.
team going in this game, right? Yeah. But if they can tell that the other team's on their back foot and they're like playing scared, they're just going to go run the fuck out of you and gun you.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
even right here, like Diamond Con should just slit chowed him. You know, like just chow him. Just like he's shooting at Mac. Like you have the upper hand because he's focused on somebody else. You know, like they need to play for a trade. Instead, he tries to stay down. He's like hesitant. Like I feel like the old Diamond Con would have just slid out. The old, as in like he's not new, but
Guy's
I've
been in
just
the league for
after
years.
been watching him scrim and shit, and just knowing he's a confident player. You know, he's a good player. He has a lot of talent. Just see him chow it, like dude, chow it. Like slide cancel chow it. If you die, you die. You get pieced. Like fuck it. Don't be scared to make a play. Don't be scared because if you're scared, you're gonna get punished, and that's exactly what Bruce did. Nobody challenged him. He threw the nade down, and he knew that Diamond Con was forced to the right side, and he just outplayed him. Bruce outplayed him.
If you want to know about the mindset of
trades.
New York, this kill right here.
Yeah.
wait, no shot.
A little
Okay.
shaky.
Hey,
Little
at least
shaky.
Yeah, I
killed
mean
them.
Clay's normally a good gunny, but just
Little shaky from Clay.
I just think a lot of undue pressure on the team. Look, I doubt they're gonna make this mistake again against OpTic. It's good to get
Oh
this
yeah,
out of the way early.
it's a learning tool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean we
Believe me. Me
We
and Tom
know.
have been there.
Ian and
I've
I
gotten my
know.
shit
and you guys
smoked
have been on
by
the other
OpTic.
side too. You guys have won grand finals against this OpTic or some version of these OpTic players before.
Yeah, but the thing is we didn't just go out and just smoke OpTic. You know, it took us getting smoked or us having to really go back and watch them and be like, how do we beat these guys? What are like what's in their game that we could take advantage of? And then talking about the AW run, like we were building off confidence in that run. You know, like if you come out confident against OpTic, you're gonna be a tough team to beat. And I think that's why in AW, like us and OpTic were like the two top dogs because we were just so confident. And it's like confidence is like the biggest thing. At least for me as a competitor, like when I'm confident in myself and my team, that's when I feel like we're playing at our best. I'm always confident, but you could tell when a team is scared or nervous that they're not playing the right way.
Oh, it's a different vibe.
Yeah,
It's a
you
different vibe.
could tell. And even right here, like Envoy plays a good corner. They're getting blended, bro. Like it looks like they don't have a plan, but they just go for it anyway, and they're all over the place. Now, at this point, like it's chalk.
You know what it reminds me of, Tom? It looks like that, they're obviously on the back foot and they're just like, bro, nothing's working, drop strategy.
Yeah, drop
Like,
strategy and just fucking hit something.
And you can't that's how OpTic wants you to play. Like if you're just relying on your team's talent and your gun skill, you're gonna get absolutely fried by OpTic at the end. Like you will never beat OpTic like that.
Yep. And if you look right there, even in that 2v1 with Asim, right? Or that 1v2 for Asim, they're OpTic's holding each other's hands. You got two people on the team that they're holding each other's hands. They don't leave each other. They run around the map together. And it's when teams start isolating, you saw it in the 100 Thieves match. When teams start to isolate, when they have numbers, that's how you get taken out. And OpTic does a good job of playing the game the right way and playing as a team. And I think that's why they won this match. They just outplayed them. They outplayed them. Simple as that.
Yeah,
all three maps.
Dude, they looked good.
OpTic looks really good.
Like, well, I mean, in this S&D, because from what I've seen, and you probably have more info on it because you talk to the guys, I would assume, Tom, and like you're more in the inside circle, I guess. The circle is like, I feel like Subliners is a pretty solid S&D team. Like they're definitely on the top half, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. They have good S&D players.
And they this wasn't even close.
And this is the one weakness.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben. This is the one weakness that OpTic even talks about themselves, right? Is their S&D. If they can win their S&Ds, I saw them talking about it on the podcast. Like Seth was saying it, Bruce was saying it. They were like, if we can get our S&Ds down, they feel like they're unbeatable. They feel like they can win every series. And it shows.
I mean, they basically would be.
Yeah, and they were losing S&Ds the other week, and people were giving them hate. And I saw Scump tweeting, right? Scump was tweeting saying, like, guys, it takes time. Like, we're really working on it. They're going back. So clearly, OpTic's been really putting time into their S&D game because they know how important it is. And it shows, bro. They're playing as a team. You could tell that they're calming well. Their strats are on point. They're all on the same page. And when they have numbers, they use their numbers. And it shows, bro. They played flawless. Like, OpTic played flawless. And they're going to punish you, bro. Against a team like OpTic, you have to play nearly perfect because they're going to be playing nearly perfect on top of the talent, and that's the only way. You got to try and break them down, and New York didn't do that. New York was the team that got broken down, and they go down 0-2 in. It wasn't even like the maps were close, man. You know, they went down 0-2
New York
quick.
gets bad timing here. This has to be all. Look at number 1 on the minimap. Let me go back. I mean,
He doesn't see him.
Yeah, he doesn't see him.
Yeah,
cross
he gets literally millisecond timing on him. I mean, it's just.
And at this point, Ben, you know, they're down 1-5. They're getting outplayed.
Indicative of the day.
He got bad timing.
He turns to the left right as the guy
but
runs under statue. I mean, that's
it's
so
like,
unfortunate.
what are you gonna do? And then, you know, OpTic makes a play, bro. Like they're down. So this is where you want to make a play. You're down numbers. Time's running out. Fuck, make a play. This is where you think to yourself, okay, this is when I got the green light, you know, because the problem the problem in my career was I had a green light sometimes when I shouldn't have had a green light.
Guy was heat checking when
I needed a few heat checks.
Stop signs.
I needed a few heat checks.
colorblind.
Yeah, bro, that was my problem. That was my problem as a player sometimes is I would go too rogue. And I was just overly confident where I would just do shit that, you know I'm capable of doing, but it's just not the most consistent play. And when you're at the best time to drop anything and just say, fuck it, I'm going to make a play is when you're down numbers and time's ticking out and you have no other choice but to make a play. That's where I throve. You know, that's where I like to thrive. I like to do plays like that. So OpTic made a play. You know, they realized that they could make plays, and that's what they did. They played flawless, bro. They played flawless. They looked good.
I don't really want to break down this control. There wasn't really much to this control.
I mean, again, it's the same thing in the 100D series. You're down 0-2. You got blown out the first 2 maps. At this point, you just need a sign of life, but it's like, bro, you're demoralized. Like, you're absolutely demoralized. You're going up against one of the biggest, best teams in the game with crazy talent, and Bruce is doing stuff like this. Bruce is bottom bed. Bruce,
he was having his way.
I was watching this game. I said, he got a kill with an AR. He pulled out his pistol. He got a kill with a pistol. He picked up the sub. He killed him with the sub. He threw a nade. I said, no, this guy's using everything in the fucking arsenal. I said, this guy's picking shit up off the floor. It's like, what do you even do at this point, bro? Like, you're just running. I was talking to Asim a little bit. Like, obviously, he said that they were demoralized a little bit. Their comms were off. Like, that shit's gonna happen when you lose the way they're losing. Like, OpTic absolutely fried. They absolutely fried. And you're gonna, and again, I'm gonna give credit to OpTic. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Guys, I'm guessing the fuck out.
Chicago. I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know
no, I'm not even doing this on purpose either. Like, they outplayed them. Like, it's as simple as that. 3-0, 3-0, the first 2 series. Both teams got outplayed.
Let's talk next steps for these teams. So Chicago, we're going to see them hit up against their fellow rivals in the Texas area. Crim versus OpTic, you know, Dallas, Chicago. I think it's going to be a great match. You know, Dallas is going to go back and watch that Moscow S&D.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. It's the second match tomorrow.
Oh, Maron, that's going to be a match. I don't know. I said this was going to be a match. So I hope tomorrow we have ourselves a match. Bro, if OpTic's playing like this, they're beating Dallas. Dallas looks shaky to me.
Yeah. Dallas look good against Steve's, though. I mean, look, we have said time and time again, Tom, there's a lot of parity. I mean, I think Chicago looked great today, but they gotta bring in the same A game tomorrow against Dallas. Dallas is not a walkover team. They're starting to look a little bit solid. Like you can't just look past that series and say, oh, well, what happens if we play the winner of FaZe and Gorillas?
Yeah.
Like Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, I think are pretty clear top 3 teams in the league right now.
You can see it in New York's faces
without
too.
a doubt.
Yeah.
You can see it in
People
their
say
faces.
I hate OpTic. I literally got my start at OpTic Intel, so come on, man.
You fucking scum.
No, Ben got his start fucking sucking Clay off in his Twitch chat.
I was doing both at the same time.
He was a mod in Clay's chat.
Chill.
So you mods out there, you can make it.
But yeah, no, I think, dude, it's tough because I feel like Dallas is so weird to me right now.
Yeah, they are weird.
Because they're just super streaky. Like the only one, I think Kyler's best player in the game.
Yeah,
Kyler's best player in the game. But like right now, everyone else is like hit or miss.
Bro, I'm thinking Kyler or Bruce right now. Bruce is looking.
Kyler, Bruce, Sam.
Dude, Bruce looks nuts. Bruce looks
Well,
absolutely
Bruce
nuts.
had one of the best series. I mean, we've said
No,
it a
no,
couple
he
times,
had
but
the
Bruce
best
is
one of the best
absolutely
series I've
fire in
ever
this
seen.
series. Bruce ended up this series, guys, 81-38. He had
Dude,
2.13
that's actually
KD in the
nuts.
series.
That's nuts.
Yeah, you
That's
know when
a-
people
that's
normally
actually
gas it
wild.
up, like, oh, I had a 2.0. Like he actually had a 2.0.
Yeah, no, that's nuts.
2.13 in
Bro,
3
we
minutes,
don't even know what his
totally.
fucking I can't even speak. What the fuck is it called? EKIA.
EKIA.
IKEA,
We don't
baby.
even know what the IKEA was. That shit
IKEA,
probably. What did he
IKEA.
have? 70 on that shit? What the fuck was
Who
on
knows,
there?
bro? Who knows?
But he was frying, man. He was frying. We don't even need to talk about this. We can go to the next series.
But again, if you're New York, Florida looked decent today. You still got a chance, New York. But again, same thing.
That's what I
Regroup, come out tomorrow. It's a daily day.
Florida looked okay, man. They looked shaky
They
too.
look-
Paris should have went up.
Like that series is gonna be a burner because at this point I don't know.
I thought Paris was gonna take it. Honestly, I thought they were gonna
That's
take
who I
it.
had. That's
I
who I
had 'em
had for the
too.
pick 'em.
And they should have probably went up 2-0. I mean, we could break it down. They come out first map really strong. They go up. They build themselves a lead. They
Give me a second.
They chain the first couple hills together, and Paris just builds themselves a lead. And that's all you need to do is if you can come off hot, build yourself a lead, work off your lead. I mean, Paris shut him down. Oh, shout out to Fire, by the way. Now that he's on our screen, it reminded me. He played incredible today.
Yeah,
Fire
great
played incredible
series out of
today,
Fire. We're waiting for this one.
And yeah, we've been waiting for this. I see a lot of people giving him flack on Reddit and shit. You see it on social media, on Twitter and stuff like that. People are like, questioning Fire, and I was always saying, he's young. He just came into the league. If you guys remember Shotzi when he first came into the league, he went like 4-80. You know what I'm saying? Like,
remember Celia when he first came into the league?
yeah, MC with the stinker. Bro,
Like
give people time. And you could see it now that with time, right? Like you see Fire challenging stuff. He's beaming now. His shot looks better. His decision making looks better. So he's starting to get into that rhythm now, and that's exactly what you want to see out of Paris. And it sucks that they didn't win the series. But again, Florida came out on top, and Florida's another top dog team, right? Like they're another great team. They clutched up. They're a good team.
Great team? Are you saying that? I don't know. I mean,
they're no. I mean, they're pretty good, Ian. They have good players if they can put this together.
No. I think they have fantastic players, but I don't know if I would consider them a top dog.
Yeah, definitely not a top dog not like OpTic Dallas.
I think right now, like the way the league is set up, I think that the top 3 teams are pretty clear. There's like a second tier starting to form. We got to see how this event shakes out. And it's not like as like deeply tier as it was last year, where like the bottom 2 tiers are like, oh, those are walkovers. There's maybe only like 1 or 2 teams now. They're like that, but the mid-tier teams can all beat each other, and that second tier and first tier, they'll take them to game 5s. It's just a difference between those top teams and the mid-tier teams. Your Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago teams are not going to choke in game 5 unless they're playing each other.
Yeah. Wait, Ben, who do you think? Like, who would you say is Florida's IGL? Like their leader on their team? Is it Slack?
Probably it has to be Jerry.
That's what people say.
Right?
People say it's Jerry.
That's the only thing I'm like worried about for this team. I mean, no, I played with Jerry, dude. He's a great teammate and he's very underrated. But like, he's not an IGL. That's nothing against him, but it's just like, and he's definitely doing it, I would assume. But that's not like his personality. When you look at like a Clay or a Slasher or a fucking Crim. Like,
he's always teamed with like a lot of vets, and they've kind of IGL'd a little bit by committee, and maybe he's realized he's moving in that role.
He has a lot more work to do now, right?
Now he's like, well, I'm that vet on a team. Like, think about the players on a team, right? This guy's been in the league for a couple of years. Big Wake does his second year. Neptune's just making the switch from Halo, so there's not that much experience on this team.
Yeah.
He's got most of it. He's Josiah's won an insane amount of chips in his career. He's won in like almost every title. So this guy has a lot of experience to build on. Got to use that to teach these guys how to play. The big thing I think that's going to help out with this team, they have a couple players in this team that haven't played a Call of Duty LAN. So if we do go to LAN this year or next year, that's going to be a big thing. No, I'm not calling him out. I'm just
we're gonna take it.
No,
I'm just saying this is value.
It is a fair say. Yeah. They ever played on LAN? It's something to think about. Who is it? It's Awakening and I mean Neptune's played on LAN and Halo, right?
Neptune's played on LAN and Halo. Skies has played on LAN, but Big Wake hasn't.
Big Wake's built different though. That kid's
he's good, bro. He's good.
I think
he started off slow though in this first map, and I think that's that hinders Florida a lot. Your star players kind of
he's got to be a superstar. Like he has to be.
I see people talking about it too in the chat, like Havoc and stuff, like talking about Havoc a little bit. Where is Havoc? Is he still on the roster?
I'm not sure, but he's playing challengers right now.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, Neptune's
so
a little bit
confused
weird.
with that. I'm so confused with
Yeah,
that.
the whole situation's a little weird to me. I'll say this about watching Neptune's gameplay, like, and talking to other people in the scene, coaches, pros, like, they think he's still got a lot to learn. That sometimes he's a little bit too like sprint happy, still just kind of trying to hit lanes
of
and not really
course.
like playing pace of the game. But you can't deny he's got the gun skill, and sometimes he sees that flashes of awareness. It reminds me a lot of like where Asim was when you kind of team with him, Tommy. Like he's with some more seasoning, he'll be a great player. And again,
He's just raw right now.
Yeah,
he's
he is
just
raw.
super raw.
Yeah.
Shout out to Florida management again. I think they're doing a good job of unearthing prospects and building depth onto our team. They're not the biggest destination right now with superstars or have major superstars on their team, but they're starting to build out a core of players who know how to win and can win.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think Neptune just needs to focus on his game awareness and his decision making. Because even right here, he's just trying to be so fancy with it. I mean, he's kind of getting swarmed, but that's just how he plays all the time.
Yeah.
It was kind of a little bit like how Shotzi was.
True.
Dude, if you remember Shotzi when he first came into MW, bro, he was moving around like he was God himself, but he wasn't putting up the numbers.
Oh yeah. Well, that's I remember. That's why I'm interested, and I kind of think it's a good thing for Neptune because he's not on like an OpTic and Empire, right? Where it's like, how the COD fans are. If you don't perform instantly, you're fucking trash.
Oh yeah,
that's
how people.
So I think him being on like a smaller market team is good, but at the same time, I wonder how he's going to develop not playing with like an experienced IGL, right? Like how Shotzi and Illy both had Clay and Krim.
Yeah.
When I fucking started playing, I had Aches and Clay. Like you had who did you first team with, Tom?
Chris.
It was Chris, right? Yeah,
Chris.
like you had someone to really help teach you the ropes when it comes to compete. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where and maybe Jerry's doing that. He very well could be, but
I think we're undervaluing Jerry's COD knowledge. Again,
no,
guys
no.
want to like
I think he's great. I think he has great knowledge, like you said, Ben. No disrespect to him, but I also don't know if he goes about it the same way that some other IGLs would. Like a Clay, like what I'm saying? Like those motherfuckers would beat it into you.
Oh yeah.
Even like with Clay. Like I don't know if Jerry's more of he's gonna tell you how to do it, but if it's not going the right way, like if you're not learning and he just kind of chalks it, Like I just don't know his mentality behind it.
It might be hard for Jerry.
If someone's gonna do an interview with Slacked, or if Slacked, if you're watching this, would love to understand your approach to IGL. I think he's definitely got the tools to do it.
No, he definitely does because he has the experience.
And we'd love to
and knowing Jerry,
he's
not scared to hold back.
And I'm not saying this is how it is, but another thing that you have to look at, and I hope it's not like this, but Jerry isn't as respected as the Clays, the Crims, right?
That's what I was gonna say.
So I wonder if like Neptune and Awakening, not that they don't respect him, but it's just a different level.
It's
when we started teaming with Clay, I was like, holy fuck, I'm like, this is the motherfucker I watched.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the greatest COD players.
Yeah.
Jerry doesn't have that rep, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I just wonder if they're giving him the respect that he needs to be a good IGL, which they probably are. They probably are, but it's just something to think about.
It is something to think about. I was gonna say that right, and you said it's a respect thing. I don't know if Jerry can just come out and just say whatever the hell he wants, and they're gonna be like, yeah, Jerry, you're right. Like they might press back a little bit.
Exactly.
And they might, like Ian said before earlier in the podcast, every pro has a little bit of an ego, and Awakening's a really good player. Skies is a really good player. Neptune's new to the scene, so I can see Neptune just being quiet, right, and just kind of sitting there and just kind of just taking it all in,
soaking it in,
absorbing it, and then I can see Skies and Awakening chippering back a little bit. I don't know what it's like in
Let's
that game.
not act like they don't have a coach, Ricky Atoro, too. By the way, like they have, there are other tools.
Yeah, but it's different when it comes from a player. It's different when it comes from a player.
Yeah, sure, but Ian, to bring an example of how coaches can change the dynamic of the team, like when you guys brought on Preston and Chris, like Chris being there to basically say what Slasher wanted to say without Slasher saying it definitely helped your team kind of get to the level needed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just depends on the dynamic, and I personally don't know their dynamic. I don't really know Awakening, don't know Neptune, know Skies a little bit. I know Jerry, but having a coach like that is great if you have a team with a lot of fucking strong personalities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who could get pretty rowdy. Because that's what Chris did. He kept us in check, like you said. And he said exactly what Austin would want, but we had a different level of respect for him because he was going about the right way.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But if I had to guess, Florida's probably a pretty laid back team.
They seem
know.
pretty laid back. They seem like they're very chilled. I don't know what it's like in their camp, to be honest. I've never played with any of those players. There's a couple new guys in there. I don't know what they're like personality-wise. It's easy for me to judge a lot of these teams because I know them as people. But Florida's one of those teams that I just don't know what the fuck's going on over there in their camp. But at least they come out with a dub here, right? They go big here in this S&D.
Dude, they clutched up.
They clutched up heavy, man. This was a mental collapse out of Paris. I definitely think that they should have closed this one out, but
Yeah, this is a wonky. So I want to watch this round. This is a really wonky round. I've noticed that Classic does this a lot. He hits a lot of interesting routes both on offense and defense on this map, and he gets super aggressive past Bo here and gets some insane timings that you'll watch.
you see a lot of people, Ben, do this on
yeah.
Miami, right? You see a lot of people. You saw Major Maniac doing it with Minnesota.
Mike was getting some timings too, but this is just, you'll watch how this plays out. I don't think you'll ever see situations like this ever again.
And I
Nick
really
doesn't give a
like.
fuck.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck. You know,
Like,
Nick. Look at him. He's all the way in Tiki.
I love Nick. Dude, he doesn't give a fuck about his life in a good way. He's not scared to make a play.
Yeah, he's confident, and I really like the strat call from Paris to just kind of send 1B to just shimmy in that back alley, because that guy B in back alley can easily stay alive.
It's a good strategy, but Florida started reading that and they started putting a lot of pressure on B. And
that's where the adaptation.
Yeah.
That's where you gotta adapt. If you're Paris, you're like you're doing this, and Florida's probably gonna start reading it. Now it's time we change it up. Like we've been stacking A for a few rounds. Let's go back to B and let's stack B. Let's hit out purple or something. That's where the mind games come in. And I don't think a lot of people, especially the fans, don't really think about it in that way. Like they don't think, this is a lot of mind games, guys, especially when you play at the highest level. All 12 of these teams are watching film. They're seeing what you consistently do, what your setups are like. They break you down. And if you're one of those teams that just are black and white and do the same setup every time, you're going to lose because teams are going to break it down and they're going to punish you for it. So I think Paris should have definitely took this map. They go up, right? They go up this.
Yeah.
They win this round here. Fast forward towards the end a little bit.
Yeah, I want to like it was looking good for Paris to go up 3-1. I believe Matty clutches this round. I want to, if I remember correctly, he gets in a 1v1.
Yeah, he tags him and he pushes him.
And we'll watch this out. And I was like, okay, Paris 2-0, like,
Fire with a big play. Matty makes a good play here. He had him tagged and he pushed him out. And again, you're up 4-1 right now. You're up 4-1. If you're Paris, you're up 1-0. If you close this S&D and go up 2-0, completely different match. Completely different match.
Yeah. Florida realizes, screw A, we're going B now. 4v1 the site. You got fire back in the alley.
They read it.
Really not much you can do there. And then you're just stuck in a post-plan situation. And as you'll watch, Paris basically got nothing out of any of these post-plans. So I believe in this round, they try a late flank, and they don't really happen fast enough. In some of the later rounds, they just kind of retake both from their side.
Yeah.
And Florida sets up on that dock side, and there's no success.
Yeah.
From Paris in retaking that.
But this is where I would have liked to see Paris adapt a little bit. You're up 4-1. You did the same thing on the defensive rounds, right? And it was working.
Yeah.
Now you got to think, when you're up 4-1, Florida's gonna be thinking, what the hell are they doing? Let's blind counter them. And Paris is just doing the same thing. So I think this is one of those times in the game where Paris needs to realize, like, listen, we got to change it up now. We're up 4-1. We've been doing the same thing. They're probably going to read us, and that's what they did. They go B. They work that bomb site. Once you get control of that B bomb site,
just went big.
Yeah, they went crazy here. Neptune makes plays. Matty's stuck under the stairs. They kill him here. Now the comeback's starting, right? Florida starts getting some rounds. Now the mind games are kicking in even more. Paris is wondering what to do here. They did decide to go A. I'm pretty sure Awakening bloods one. I think he blooded one from deep. And then they traded out. So it's a 3v3 here. This is Mixie, right? This is a good play out of Neptune to get pushed up on the bomb here, just so they can't get that force plant down. But I think Nick jumps up here, right? And he spots him. He spots Neptune. Yeah. Neptune notices. He starts running around and stuff. He needs help from his squad. Neptune does a good job here just being annoying, right? He's just all over the map.
That was a really good play.
A really good play out of him. Awakening picks up a blood. 3v1. Now, in this round, right, you go up, you're down 4-1, you bring it back 3-4, and now the momentum is completely switched. Momentum is such a big thing when you're in S&D that once you flip that momentum, you have to roll with it, and that's exactly what Florida did, man. They rolled with the momentum. Right here, Matty gets caught. How did this game end? What were the last few rounds looking like?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
It was Mixie.
Bro,
Florida
Nicky
clutch-
D again,
Florida
and
clutch
again,
this round.
and again. Look, Paris is doing
do
the
the same
thing, the same exact thing. They don't change it up at all.
We talked about this with OpTic versus FaZe. Like at this level now, you can't run the same defaults. You have to be able to adapt mid map, mid round, and try and outsmart these teams because people watch your film. They know what you're going to do. People are going to watch how you play in map, and they're going to adjust. And if you're stuck being a one-note team with 2 pages in your playbook,
That's how
you're
you
not
get
gonna
hard
win many
countered.
Searchers.
Yep.
Yeah, you get hard
Consistently.
countered.
Yep. So you right now, if you're Florida, you're reading it, right? You're feeling the
Yeah.
pressure on that B
Oh,
side.
no, there's 3. Yeah, we know that there's like if you do it like that, right? Even if you see only one player of Paris, if you study their film, which I haven't, but if they do that, you're like, oh, there's 3 guys a day.
Yeah.
We can literally just quick rotate and we'll get full control of B.
And they do one of those things too where they have a guy go all the way B side by himself and play a position where he can't get blooded, right? He goes to that God heady on that
You want
bottom
to set up right
Yeah.
there.
that number 3. He goes
Yeah,
all the
like-
way down and he gets all the info in the world. His team's playing slow beach, but they also have information on B to know that listen, like nobody's pushed up on B yet here. You guys can rotate the bomb back. And that's what they do. They take their time, they play their information, they adapt to what Paris is doing, and Florida does a good job. I don't know who was making the calls, but they broke them down one by one, and they look good, man. I'm pretty sure Sky's clutches. I don't know what happened on this round.
Wait,
Yeah.
Skies clutches this?
Maddie probably
Oh.
should have had that kill.
So I think this round kind of goes
Oh,
south because
okay,
Paris takes forever to kind of set this retake.
This was a huge no.
Like,
Paris
look
should
how
have won
slow
this.
they are to push up garage here.
Paris should have won this. So Skies makes a
So
play,
slow to
bro.
set this up.
Skies gets tagged in the closet. He's trapped. Maddie has him pinned, and I don't know if he got cameraed or
I mean, dude,
what.
it's 24 seconds left, and they're not even like really peeking garage at this point. Like you're letting this tick down pretty far, and you really only get 1 or 2 licks at trying to take this back.
Yeah.
Wait, the thing. Oh, I guess that's.
I guess Matty could have played a better spot. Like you're gonna get cameraed in that spot. You don't really have a head glitch, so that's a little tough.
Wait, I'm a little confused. Where was Fire going?
Fire.
That's what I was gonna ask you. I was trying
Where
to
is he
figure out who it
going? Like,
was on the minimap.
Where is he going here? Because
know.
he doesn't really have to do anything, right?
Maybe
Like,
it's a miscomm between him and Matty that they both were gonna.
or maybe
push
he's
up.
just trying to push somebody out. But
They know. They must have known that he was.
this number 7, right?
Like
Like this number 7 should be calming, right, on Paris. So that's Yuli. He should be calming. I can get the guy off the heady, right?
Yeah, Yuli should be the first engagement here. There's still
Right.
20 seconds.
Yeah, and
Like-
Yuli's the one making the play here. You have to wait for Yuli to make this play. You have to. He's the one coming in on the flank. He's gonna be the one to open it up for you. And if he gets
Wait,
that kill on the
Fire-
heady, he cost it right there. And
Boy's
now,
had his J's on.
yeah, he had his
was
J's
just
on,
at
and
the
then
heady.
Matty probably should have had the trade, but you know it happens. He lost the gunfight. Big play out of Skies. They tied up 4-4. Now they're bringing it back. Complete momentum switch, and this is huge for Florida, man. Huge.
Paris is gets something on this offense. I think. They get first
What do they do here?
blood.
Paris slows it down, right? They slow it down. They're trying to play for information, trying to play for a pick.
They try a garage play here.
Oh, dude, this is what I wanted to talk about. Pause, man. Pause right here. Bro, teams gotta stop doing this shit, man. They got to. What do they try? Bro, you can't straight up hit B. I'm sorry. Unless you rush it right away and try and catch a team off guard, right? Because you're thinking, okay, they might stack A this round or they might go mid or something. Hit B right away, use their numbers, trade them out. But to slow play it and in the late hit it as a team like this just doesn't work.
Well, I think
doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, you and I were talking about this. Like Florida did that in the earlier series, but they had to read that there was only one guy playing. But when you're walking to like a 2 or 3 stack on the site and you don't have anyone purple,
Yeah, like
Or
you
if
could
you're
play
just
it better.
sweating
Look
purple
at
and
these
you're not going garage,
crossfires.
it's
Like,
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're not gunning Skies off that heady
nah,
regardless.
and it's like
Yeah.
even if you start tagging up Skies, you have slacked right there, and Neptune's getting info top purple, but Neptune is 2 steps away to come back and help. You know, to come
Yeah.
back and it's like you're screwed, bro. They're trying to force their way through garage,
They
and
just trap them. They just trap themselves.
bro, they have to look at the garage room, or they gotta look at that room right there. I forgot what people call it. Everybody calls it differently, but that door right there to the left of the wall hop up. But you gotta look at purple stairs. You gotta look at the wall hop up. You gotta look at the room. You gotta look at to your left. Then there's corners under the table, right? And then there's corners close up garage. There's just so much, bro. And you don't know where teams are. Like teams are just playing crossfires, and that's exactly what Florida do. They stay patient. They have somebody playing info at A, so they know they just need to hold B. They're coming right to them. So they just hold B, they get the information that they needed, and it was just so easy for them. They just walked into a
you would think at
crossfire.
this point, right? You're Paris.
They're doing the same thing.
They've gotten the bomb down B twice now. Why are there still 3-2 today?
Yep, they're still doing
Do
the
Why-
same
you, I
thing.
mean,
Switch
do you think in their head they're just like they're allowing the bomb to go down at B because essentially they know that they can trap Florida. Like
Yeah,
that,
and
that has to be their
maybe
mindset,
retake it.
right? If
But
they just because bro, yeah, if they plant the bomb on you fucking 3 times in a
so
row,
this is a whole nother argument, right? Because this is how certain pros think, right? There's some pros that are like, yo, we know how to play retakes really well. We can play a retake every time. Just let them plan it, and we can retake it. And then there's pros like me. When I played,
Well,
I
you don't wanna get
fucking
the bomb down.
hated that. I
Yeah.
hated when teams are like, yo, just chalk it because if they plant there, we can work a retake. I hated that because I hate letting teams get the bomb down for free. I hated it. I don't like when teams can just walk up on the bomb when you can easily just have somebody playing for info on both sites and that's
I mean,
it. That's
it's
that.
also depends on the situation, right? Because like there's like this seems like a very hard bomb site to retake. Like like
This
there's either
this
very
setup's hard to
hard.
retake.
yeah,
if
like
you're not
there's
pitching.
there's easier bomb sites that you can allow the bomb to go down and do that like more slow methodical
Yeah.
retake.
Yeah.
I don't. The only time I play Miami S&D is in fucking league play, and I quit out every fucking time. I feel like it's damn near
Yeah, I hate
impossible to
this map. I
retake
hate this map.
on B.
Yeah. Like even right here, like what do? You know, the bomb's down, they're on the god headies, like Paris has to make the play and they're running into L triggers and it's like what else can you possibly do here? Dude, Skies almost got picked right there. That would have been crazy.
Scraps almost got the play.
But that just shows how positioning goes a long way. Like Skies can just hit a snake real quick and just check the bomb and stay alive. The only way
That's
Skies
tough.
dies is if Maddie literally runs all the way to him and kills him, but at that point there's no time left on the clock, so he can't even make that play regardless. So just good plays by Florida to adapt. And Paris went up 4-1. They needed to change it up. They were getting too predictable. They did the same thing. They went up, built themselves a lead, and they didn't use their lead, bro. They got the lead. They got exactly what they wanted. They should have changed it up, and they didn't. And they got punished for it. And now it's a whole different series. Instead of going up 2-0, it's tied 1-1. You're going into the control now.
On Miami, Tom and Ben, B's definitely the favored site, right?
It seemed like that's what it was in the beginning, right? Everybody just kept hitting out B. Now, I was saying it a little bit a couple weeks ago that I would like to see teams working beach more, working A side a little bit more, because teams don't stack A. Like, they never stack A. They're always sending, like, one guy to just play for info.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of just playing for the info, and then the people B would just wrap back. But
Also-
now...
It's just so weird, though. Because, like, if you're going to stack a site, you normally are stacking the more fucking common site. And they just kept going 3 beach every round. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know maybe
Maybe Paris is overthinking it. Like, listen, like maybe they think, listen, we've been doing this so much that they think we're gonna change it up, but we're gonna keep doing it. You know, like that's where the
just trying
mind
to play
games.
the mind games
you
like
know,
that.
yeah,
like double push out like their other side and just go on a quick flank. Like they were just stuck in
And
the same
then
default,
they let
not
go of this
rotating.
one too. Like you're on the defensive side of control, and I think Florida just kind of stacks points here, right? And they win this offense.
You'll watch how this whole round plays out. Like, by the way, I didn't show it, but the first offensive round for Paris, they could have actually low-key won an offensive round. They chalked it.
Yeah.
They didn't stack the point. I didn't want to show that because it's not that exciting.
You see a lot of teams doing that, man. They don't stack the point.
But
I keep saying this,
on this map.
bro. Every time I watch Control, they get like 2 or 3 dead. They don't stack the point. They send 1 or 2 guys on it. The other guys are pushing out cuts, and then the guys pushing out the cuts die, and then the guys are stuck on the point, and the point could have easily been capped. It's like, bro, you want to put panic into the other team, right? If you stack a point and that point starts going up at the speed of light, the other team's gonna panic. They start panicking. They're like, shit, we need to go. Like, they're stacking this shit, and you catch them sprinting. You start hitting shimmies on the point. You start catching people sprinting. That's how you get the kills. Like, that's how you cap points. But for some reason, I feel like teams just overthink the fuck out of it. They're always trying to push out cuts and be annoying and get kills, which is not always a bad thing. There's certain times it's all situational, right? But if you could stack point, I think you should stack point. Personally, I think that's how it should be played. I know we went back and forth when I was playing with New York and we were scrimming. We went back and forth a lot on this because some people were saying, no, don't stack the point. Like, we should be getting pushed up and being annoying. But I was always like, dude, I don't know. I feel like if we're all near the point and we can get kills. Now, if you're out of the play, right? Like, say you guys are stacking B and I happen to be A straight for some reason. Like, at that point, it's like I can't stack the point, make a play, and be annoying. But if you're all around the point and you get the kills, stack the point. Hop on it.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, ideally, you want to push out like whatever the lane may be on the map, right, to force the other team to spawn deeper.
Yeah.
But if you know that you can't do it, like that's just one of the things that the players know with the timings. If you know you can't do it 100%, then just because then
do the more consistent play.
Then it comes down to like a 50-50 gunfight, or maybe not even. Maybe your timing's off and you get shot in the side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to point something out. You're looking at this time, 14 seconds left. Nobody in Florida is in the hell.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to let you know that Florida win this map at this point.
Yep, you got a 6 life advantage to
6
Paris.
life advantage.
You got
full
14
long.
seconds. Yep.
They got to get on A, which is super hard to hold. They have no plane control. No one's in plane.
So what happens
Let's
here?
watch out what happens.
So you have one guy trying to hit B site. Instead of going top plane, he goes B. Which I don't know about that, bro. I think Yui should have hit plane. I think they need plane here. I think he needs to go plane. Somebody probably should have followed him up plane, and somebody else. Like they need to do something together here, right? Like Yui's going B, he's splitting up. You got a guy in the A street. You have one guy trying to help A street. Yui tries to stop B by himself.
Fire is
But
a big gunfight. If
now they go down 3, and it's like if you're Florida, they do a great job stacking the point. Unfortunately, Slack gets taken out crossing, but imagine Slack's on this point. This goes up even
I also
quicker.
think nobody does anyone from Paris really hit right here. Number 5 kind of does.
I mean,
They
at this
send one
point,
guy
like you just fucked yourselves.
Yeah.
Like there's 14 seconds left. You have one guy pushing B, one guy
Now you
pushing
got
A,
some
2 guys
buffs.
coming off spawn. Like you have to wait. Like you have to play your life. All you need to do is wait, play your life, wait for teammates, and work a trade. Instead, they rush it. They get blooded one by one. They start pushing one by one. They don't do anything as a team. Florida's able to get 1 point. They get kills and they run straight to the other one and stack. It's like it's not hard to win O's when you do when the other team is fucking up like that. You know what I'm saying?
I saw Adam make a good point. Look at where Scraps number 5 is on the map. That he's top red. What is your thoughts on that play, Tommy? Because obviously you get good lines of sight from anyone crossing the A, but you don't have the flexibility to really move out of that spot.
He's probably just trying to pick up kills, like trying to look over his team, but at the same time, like they're stopping the clock, right? And they need help on the points. So I don't agree with the play. He does pick up 1. So I mean, he does pick up 1, and he waits for his team. He's still there, right? Like his teammates are coming off spawn and they're hitting it again before he even does, which is, you know, it's not the best play out of Matty. You would like to see him hit a little bit of a go button there and try and get into the mix a little bit more, because at this point, with 14 seconds left on the clock, like Paris just needs to wait for each other and get some trades, hit it out together and trade, and they'll be fine. Even if they get on the point contest, like just slow it down, you know, like slow it down, work some trades, get kills like that, especially when you have life advantage, right? Slow down the clock, you have life advantage. Florida ends that round with only 6 lives. If they slow that down a little bit and they can get on the point contest and get some kills, they can drop Florida under 4 lives, and at that point Florida's, you know, they're stuck. You know how hard it is to win control when you lose out on lives, you know?
Dude,
like it's fucked.
They fucked up. I don't know why Yuli, I'm pretty sure it was Yuli and Fire, why they even challenged A right there.
Yeah, they were singing talent too.
Yeah, Fire's trying to play 1 and done spot, and he just
Bro,
lose the gunfight long.
but
And
like-
they ran up middle street. Like,
I feel like that is, I mean, that's just like control fundamentals essentially. You're on defense there, you know you're not going to stop it, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? And they know that someone's on B as well, because Awakening was on it. But it's like, why would you not essentially cut the map in half?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though they spawn that back left,
control.
Well,
top
that-
plane
well,
control, so you can cut the map in
that's what-
half, and you can watch out both
because
sides of the
bro,
ring.
they had like what 4 or 5 life advantage.
Yeah.
B, it wasn't like B was about to be capped either. It's like Florida has 2 options. After they cap A, they either try and push through, or they like wrap back to their side mid, right? Like go under plane, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you cut the map and all of you try to overwhelm Awakening on the point first, while the other players on Mutineers are still capping A, you have the advantage.
They panicked.
And then you're good. You win the round.
It's one of those things, Ian, where you can just be like, you know what? Look at the lives. They have 6, 7 lives. Chalk up the point. Just chalk it, play together, and go hit B together, get them off B, and just work the lives. At that point, you work a couple trades in there, and they ran out of lives. They're done. They can't do anything. So it was just it looked like a mental collapse. They panicked. They started hitting their go buttons, and they started running forward. And
I'm guessing they thought. I'm guessing they thought they could get them off A. I don't know. That's where like where this team, I think, similar to Florida in a way, is they don't have like a real IGL. Like, someone needs to be spamming the fucking comms in that situation when they all came up off spawn right there.
Yeah.
You chalk A, everyone go wood side of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you split the map.
Yeah, especially Ian, if you get that kill B, this is something we talked about in New York. You get the kill B and push up Tetris, like push up to the front blue, like they can't get on the point, like they can't do anything.
Yeah, you do the first step, and then you push up, and now they're spawning back left.
Yeah,
like they're not getting to the point.
They're spawning deep. They have no lives left. They panicked and they ran at the point, and they got 4 clean dead, and Florida stacked points. Like they just got kills, stacked points. It's as easy as that, man. Again, that's 2 maps in a row now where Paris made some pretty. They made mistakes that they know that they shouldn't be making.
They make mistakes on this map too, and we'll get to that in a second.
Dude, I hate to be nitpicky about that, or or sound like the salty fucking retired guy, but like that is the difference between like teams who can consistently be at the top and contend for championships compared to everyone else.
Yeah, the decision making.
It is they just don't understand that those little plays like that, especially when it's two top teams. Obviously, Florida and Paris aren't like top 4 teams in the game, but when they play, that's the difference right there. Boom. It doesn't matter how many fucking kills you had on the map. You making that one correct play wins you the game.
And that's what makes OpTic so good. Is because not only do they make correct plays, but they're talented. So when you put the two
so
and
they
two
can
together,
bail themselves out.
it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of some of these low-tier teams that people are like, how are they winning? Well, they're playing together as a team, so they can get W's. But when you're playing as a team against another team that's playing as a team, it's going to come down to talent and winning ones and ultimately winning your gunfights, and that's something that OpTic does really well. So Paris panicked a little bit. This map was another one.
So this this spot kind of annoyed me. You're spawning circle. Well, you know where the other team is. You know they're spawning water. At no point, 8 and 7 decide, you know what, let me pick up the cross to garage. Let me spot and see if they're pushing AC. What ends up happening is you get a 3v2 in hell. And look where Paris is.
Yeah.
If they had played tight in this setup and gotten this last 20 seconds,
well, they do
which they do, you could have put yourself in a big position, but kind of watch how this plays out. They get forced now to rotate.
No, they didn't play that. They didn't. Paris played that hill good. Paris played that pretty well.
Lucky. They got lucky.
Now this is Florida makes a good play, right? They rotate to next. They set up. They lock down all this time because you know how hard basketball is to break. It's a money hill. I don't think that P3 hill is a money hill because you could just pinch it out, get some kills, and they spawn across the map or spawn out, and it's like
I think it can be a money hill. It's a
harder.
money hill. It depends on
harder.
Where the team spawns
It's
out.
harder.
Yeah.
This hill is hard to break, really hard, because you just getting put. There's only 2 ways to come into the hill. You got this one big doorway, and then you got the back skinny stairs, right? So you're flooding through 2 ways, and they're obviously just blending you in crossfires. So it's literally almost impossible to break unless you win some crazy ones. And then Florida's able to take the lead here. They bring it all the way back. I mean, barely. They basically tie it up. And then, if I remember correctly, this is where things go bad, right? So you got 13 seconds left. Paris needs to rotate to next. Maddie gets caught in kitchen. You would have liked to see Maddie maybe back up here, right? Like maybe back up. We saw Donnie make the same play, right? A few days ago. Remember when Donnie slid out a money window and he just died off rotation? Now Maddie dies. Florida gets kitchen control. They're forced to watch kitchen, right? The guys on hill. It just collapses when you die. They're still good though, right? Maddie dies. They spawn up. They have everything on lock. Florida does a great job though. Florida does a great job here.
Was the way the classic plays this. So like, you'll watch basically what Nick does is he plays this top saturation spot, which is pretty good. Like it's a decent glitch, like you can finesse, but he's got to stay alive. As we all know, like the worst place to be in this map is to lose circle. Because then you spawn water and no stairs. It is super hard to win those gunfights.
Yeah, you chalk that up with the stairs.
But regardless, right? Florida does a good job. They don't panic, and that's what you see a lot of teams do. And this is why Florida, to me, is just a good team. They haven't showed it in their record and their performances as of late, but they showed composure, right? They showed composure here. They sent 2 guys left, 2 guys right. They did something together, right? They always had a guy next to them ready to trade, ready to get kills, and then they pin them out. What's the word I'm looking for? They single out one. Yeah, they pinch them, but they single out individuals, right? They take one out on the ring side, they take one out on the pool stair side, and at that point they use their numbers to get some bloods, and they collapse on the hill and get on the point, and it's chalked, and they win the series. So good composure, because you'll see a lot of teams panic, and they just start running at the hill because the time's ticking down, and they go down one by one, or they just get blendered into a crossfire, and it's over, right? So they did a good job. They did a good job, like thinking, making sure they take the right routes and not panicking. I don't know who made that call, but good job, Florida. Good job to them to realize that they can easily win this.
Go ahead, Ian.
Oh no, I was gonna ask you to rewind it to when Nick died, when you were talking about it, Ben, because I don't know if he got comms or what, but it looked like he got bad timing because he potentially thought that one of them was flipping. Like he looked back towards driveway.
Maybe he thought that he was pushed up too much.
I don't know, since we weren't in it, but it's like no one died on Florida.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. No one died. So like I don't.
The issue with that is normally how you see teams play this, Ian, is like number 7 when they wouldn't double stack kill like this. Someone would sit zig and block that side. Otherwise, you just kind of spawn in a weird spot. They end up spawning out kitchen.
I understand that. I understand that. But what I'm saying is like no
know
one on
Florida's
Florida
there.
died. Like
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you know that, especially from where Scrap spawned, because he was the only one who died when there was like 10 seconds left on Old Hill.
Yeah.
Like
It could have been
And-
anything. I mean, he could have
yeah,
been
I
running
mean,
back, just looking at his mini map or something, right?
That's
Like,
true.
I-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
he's
That's
just
true.
running backwards, staring
I
at
just
his mini
wonder
map.
if he got bad, like, because it's hard to tell from the arrow, you
Mhm.
know. But I wonder if he could have potentially got a kill.
Yeah. I don't know.
If he got, because if he gets one there, even though he dies, that's huge. Him
I would have
dying and not
liked to
getting
see him.
anything.
I feel like on that top rank spot, you're just kind of up there in the open, you know? Like, I just feel like those headies are too OP to not be on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw the same thing with
Yeah.
100 Thieves when on their defensive setup when they got the bomb down on that side of the map, and none of them are playing the God
Yeah.
headies. It's like, bro,
But yeah,
get
top
on the
rank's
head.
ass. I
It's
feel
terrible.
like,
Like,
it's
bro,
not like it
get
was.
on the headies. They're impossible. And hit some fucking snakes. Because you know people are going to be snaking anyway. People are snaking all day. I was watching snakes from every fucking team. So snake a little bit. Throw a few snakes in there. Get on the God heady a little bit. Paris through the series, man.
So let's
Florida
talk
did
next,
really well, though. Their decision
Yeah.
making was really well.
Let's talk next steps. First for Florida, they got to play New York. I don't think New York played well today. Florida obviously iced up against Paris, but candidly, I think Paris should have won the series. They just kind of tossed. So who knows
shoulda,
who wins the
woulda.
matchup
You
next
know,
week?
shoulda, woulda. Florida
And
played good.
And if you're Paris, like I don't think Paris played that bad this split. They just got to work on their composure. I think clearly they've got the skill to put themselves in position to win these masks regardless of the mode. They're just struggling to just kind of close out. If they can figure that out, they're going to be a really, really dangerous team, especially in the second split.
Yeah. And then going on to the next series, you got the Rocket versus Ultra. I called this Toronto 3-2. That's what I called, and that's exactly what happened. You know,
Hey, good pick.
Thank you. And, you know,
So-
I'm always right these days.
So
But
you,
this is
I
a
want
good
to ask you
series.
too. So Minnesota obviously like have finished now, just an awful record in hardpoint. Like, what do you guys think is their issue right now in this game mode?
I don't know, man. It might just be like a pacing thing, like you've been
It has
saying,
to
man.
be. It has
It's
to
like
be.
maybe they're not working together as a team. Like they're not. At the end of the day, when teams are losing, when teams like Minnesota, right, that have talent, when they're losing, it's usually because they're not playing together as a team or their decision making's off, and that's probably what's going on. I mean, there's something about Toronto that I felt like they had the edge today. I don't know why, just by the way they've been playing. You know, just kind of reading both teams. I thought that Toronto was gonna come out on top. But then also Toronto's had trouble closing out series. So when it went to that game 5, I was a little like, you know, this can go either way. I thought when it went game 5, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen, but it was cool to see Toronto clutch up because they haven't been closing series at all. But in this hard point, I don't know what the hell went wrong.
Dude,
It's a wild one.
no, if you guys have been talking about it, Ben, like it has to be the pacing. I refuse. The biggest thing for me is Preston has not been playing well, right?
Yeah.
And I refuse to believe that all of a sudden in Cold War, Preston just isn't good.
Yeah.
Right? He just can't shoot straight now. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
you're both a team with him. You know
Yeah,
the skill
like
he has.
I've seen what Preston can do. Okay, and he should have no issue doing it in this game. It has to be him kind of getting hoed by his teammates. As bad as that sounds, like when you look at Lamar, you look at Dylan, Major Maniac, none of them are quote unquote fast players, but they're also more on the slow side. You know, like Lamar's one of the slowest
it could
ARs.
go either way. You know, it could be situational, and that's the problem. Maybe Preston's playing too fast sometimes. Maybe
Yeah, I could agree with
maybe
that.
Lamar and them are playing too slow sometimes. That's where the pacing issue comes into play. It's not. I wouldn't say it's an individual. It's more of a team thing. Like they need to get their pacing on point because sometimes it's good to play slow. Sometimes it's good to play fast. It's one of those things where they need to know when to play slow and when to play fast. And I'm sure they're going back and watching it and they're noticing stuff like this. But it's probably their pacing. I mean,
the biggest thing for me about that though, Tom, because even when I team with Preston on 100 team Black Ops 4,
yeah,
we had to kind of tell him like, yo, you need to like slow it down a little bit, right? Like
Yeah.
you're playing too fast, and you know, obviously our players on that team, we weren't slow by any means.
yeah.
Besides Slasher's bitch ass, but and Sam, but like
so half the team.
like I know at the top level, the team who makes the correct move faster is going to be in the advantage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10. Okay, so like sometimes you need to play slow, but if you can be more decisive and be more aggressive in the right way, it's going to be more beneficial
And that
for
is
you.
essentially how Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago basically
So
approach
that's-
this one.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm not trying to make it seem like Preston's not at fault here, and it's all his
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a huge pacing issue, and it stems more from the other three being way too slow when they need to pick it up so they can help him out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Preston also, kid's cracked. It's going to be tough for him to slow down. So if it comes to an ultimatum,
You got to play around him.
Yeah, he's a superstar.
Yeah, you got to play around Preston. You have to. You just know what he brings to the table talent-wise. I've heard it come from Lamar's mouth and all of them, right? Like, I've heard him say this year, like, dude, Preston's insane. Like, Preston's a beast. Like, he's incredible, this and that. So it's like, if he's as good as they say he is, you got to play around him a little bit, you know? Like, use him in the best way possible. Use him to his advantage.
So let me toss this out there.
What?
Do you think if you're Minnesota, you'd be a better team right now if you didn't pick up Mike and you had kept Asim from last year?
1,000%.
Preston Asim as your sub duo.
1,000%.
Maybe.
Nothing
No
against
disrespect
Major
to
Maniac.
Mike. Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've heard from multiple pros that they're like the slowest team in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I'm just saying by the looks of it and by the feel of the game and just kind of like looking at it on paper, pacing is like the number one that comes to mind. And then just watching it play out a little bit and seeing Preston struggle and just seeing them lose hardpoint after hardpoint, it's got to be the main issue. It's got to be. And I'm sure they're watching it back and I don't know exactly how they're talking about it because they probably don't even think it's a pacing, knowing those people on the team.
Well, they got to figure it out because they're a good S&D. They were
Like,
good
Dude,
S&D in
if
the
they
split.
just weren't absolute dog shit in hardpoint, they'd be a fucking damn good
Yeah,
team.
they'd be really good. And
like,
that's
just
the thing.
win one.
I would love to talk
series.
to them about it and ask them if
The
it's a
control
pacing
record's
thing.
good, by the way.
Because I feel like they would hit us with like it's not a pacing issue. Like we're just making mistakes. Right?
That's just pure denial at this point, I think. But
well,
yeah.
that's just with certain people on the team, I just feel like that might be what they say, and maybe it is in their eyes, like maybe that is the problem. But I just hope that they can turn it around in hardpoint because a team like this and the talent that they have, they can easily be a top hardpoint team.
But I don't think game plan sound right. We've already seen that the EU teams have GA'd the XM4. Let's say the XM4 goes out and it's a Krieg sub meta. Like they're not going to get any better in that meta. It's not an XM4 problem. Like. I don't know. I'm very curious what the solution is.
They get worse. They
do get worse because they play a very structured system.
And
they don't have a go button type
to talk about
players on their team.
Bro, COD hardpoint specifically, bro. When you get to the fucking nitty gritty, the top teams, it's all a numbers game. Like I said, especially being more decisive, being faster than the other team, and making the right plays, you're gonna win. That's how it is.
Yeah.
And it's a lose-lose. If your pacing's off, you have people who are playing too slow, people who are playing too fast, because you look at Minnesota, right? Preston's probably running in, getting team shotted, right? Not getting a good opportunity, a timing. And then also, if you look at like the slower players, like Lamar's their main AR, he doesn't have bait to shoot over him because Preston's already been dead for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Because they just need to be on the same page and actually get trades. Dude, you watch this map. I've been watching the whole time so far.
Yep.
Their trading is like non-existent compared to Toronto's.
Do you want to hear my fire take, Ian, about what I think?
Let me hear.
And the problem they can't do. I think that Attach, as good as a sub player he is, I think he's a way better flex player. And the fact that they don't have a better second sub on this team, dude. If they had Preston being like that third entry, sorry, not Preston. If they had Dylan being that third entry flex player, like their team would be so much faster. Dylan's a good playmaker when he's got an AR in his hands. He's a good playmaker when he has a sub, but he doesn't play that like crack game style with a sub.
With this Dill use, is he like? He's the second sub with Preston, obviously.
I mean, that's usually how it plays out.
Or is everyone using the fucking M4?
I've noticed they've switched. I've noticed that Major Maniac sometimes starts maps with a sub, so I think they're trying to kind of mix it up. But dude, that's the issue. Mike's not really like that's. He's not.
Yeah, exactly. I already know what you're gonna say.
Player. And then to go off what somebody said in the chat, because guys, sometimes y'all be saying the dumbest shit, man. I see. Stop it, y'all protecting y'all friend Lamar. Major is 1,000 times better than Lamar, guys. When Ian was talking about Major, the team was already Lamar and Dylan, and they picked up Preston and Major. They dropped Asim and then picked up Preston and Major Maniac. Ian's not saying Major Maniac is the problem. He's too slow. That's not what he's saying.
Oh, no. Dude,
you guys have to listen to us when we're talking. He's not saying that.
You may break it down.
It could be anyone.
So you can understand. Say you drop Lamar, right? And you picked up, and Major was the main AR. But whoever they picked up was still a slow player. This team is still going to suck at hardpoint.
It doesn't change.
Like Major Maniac and Lamar, they're first off, if you're in the CDL, are a couple players. The talent is pretty close. Everyone can fucking shoot straight.
Very close.
But so if you put Major on main AR and you pick up, I don't even know who is another slow sub player, right? Or just a slow player. They're not going to be better just because Lamar's not on the team.
Yeah.
Like their team dynamic, at least to me right now, with how the game is being played, which once again, it's tough because you have to build your teams before you know the meta, right? Every year, the dynamic just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And that's why what you guys are saying in the chat, it just didn't make any sense. Now, if you want to argue that, okay, now you're looking to make a change and you're looking at performances and you want to get rid of a player, then you guys could say whoever you want to get rid of. That's ultimately up to the team on who they want to get rid of and who they think has been underperforming. But that's a whole different conversation than talking about their pacing and why we think if Asim was on the team, things might have been different, you know, depending on
if Asim was on the team for Lamar or Major,
They're pacing
be
me
way
better. Now, the counter to that, I'll be a little bit devil's advocate. They're a good search team right now, and that's part of the reason I think is because of the personnel they have on their team. And I obviously Map 5 aside, where they kind of toss, like they were one of the top S&D teams this year. So the stage. So I don't know. I mean, they're in a really tough spot. They get the hard points of game mode that they got to figure out with the personnel and the roles because they're a good control team. I just checked their record in control. They were 4-2 after the series, and their S&D was good apart from what happened in Game 5 of the series.
Yeah.
So they figure out hard point. Like they're gonna be up there and start winning series against top teams.
Also, because a lot of people in the chat talking about Lamar. Lamar's played good this year for the most part, right? Like he had a bad series here.
Lamar had
a bad series. Let's be honest. He had a bad series. You don't think Lamar knows that? Lamar knows he had a bad series, man. He's not dumb. Lamar's a smart player.
So COD's the only sorry to cut you off, but COD's the only esport where if you have one bad series, you're fucking dog shit. Motherfuckers in CS could be playing bad for 6 months before they're like, yo, this guy's they'll be like, oh, he's just gone through a slump. Like in COD, bro, you do good on Wednesday. On your Friday series, if you get bodied, you're fucking washed.
Oh, I mean, you see fucking posts on Reddit when people, after one series now, it's a fucking trend. I see you guys doing these stupid trends on Reddit. Who's gone? Who's gone? You make a fucking poll on who's gone. I see you guys doing that stupid shit every series. After every series, I go to Reddit, and it's the first post I see. I saw it today with New York. Hydra's coming in. Who's gone? Okay, fuck. New York has been playing great since the season started, and now they lost the series to OpTic, and now
they got bodied by one of the best teams in the game.
Now we gotta make a change. Who's gone? You know. Come on, guys. Come on, give us some time, bro. If these arguments would be way different, and I would agree with most of you guys if you gave it some time, and things were consistently happening, you know. But if things are happening by the weekend, by the day, chill out, man. You know what I'm saying? Chill the fuck out. Let people work on themselves and see if they can figure it out because this game is trial and error sometimes. Like, sometimes teams learn as time goes on and players learn as time goes on. So, I don't really want to see any of that stupid shit, man. I know it could be just a troll, too. You know, people on Reddit can just be trolling.
Hold on, time out. Someone's saying this is a major ZooMaa. It matters. It's the first major of the year, bro. Like,
it's the first major of the year, and it's still early. Like, there's... And you can't just look at the major... There's been a whole season being fucking played. What do you mean there's been a bunch of matches being fucking played, bro. What are you talking about? You're going to look at one match? One? So I'm going to ask you, if you were a pro player, how do you think you would feel if you played great for 2 months and you get to the first major and you have a shit series, right? You drop a 2.0 every fucking and you shit the sheets for one series and everybody's saying you're fucking dropped. How would you feel? You'd be sitting here like, what the fuck? You're talking absolute shit. Picogram, you're a dumbass. You're stupid.
We're calling people out. I like this.
I gotta call him out. Picogram. I'm not talking absolute shit.
I like toxicity.
So you're telling me that after one series, you're just gonna drop a guy after one series. You're just gonna drop a guy. That's what you're telling me. That's all I'm seeing. After one series, you're gonna drop a guy.
Minnesota because their team clearly has potential.
Listen, man, these teams practice every day. They've had league matches the last few weeks. They have played nonstop COD, bro. They have seen these players. They have seen each other play more times than anyone. Literally than anyone. The people have played so much COD in the past couple months. You can't just judge them off of one series. What if they weren't feeling well that day? You know, what if they had a fucking stomach ache?
It was diarrhea.
That guy had diarrhea or some shit.
It happens.
Come on, bro. It's saying stupid shit. And you're just making me sit here saying you're fucking dumb. Go fuck yourself, man. That's so stupid. That's so fucking stupid. All right, I'm sorry. We can continue. But I just hate seeing dumb shit, bro. It's so stupid, bro. It'll never not be stupid to me, ever. It'll never not be stupid. It's just so dumb.
It's just how people are. It's just how people think. People watch fucking professional sports, bro. I think they know more than the motherfuckers who play.
And
It's
it's
the
like,
same
bro,
thing.
now say tomorrow Minnesota comes out and Lamar gets smoked again, like really bad. And maybe in practices he wasn't even doing that well. That's a whole different conversation that they need to have within their team and figure out, like, listen, he's underperforming. You got to tell him, like, listen, bro, you're underperforming. We gotta replace you. It's way different. You guys don't even know what's going on behind the scenes in practice half the fucking time. You don't even know. You guys have no idea. But to sit here and be like, he had a terrible series, this guy needs to go, he sucks, then that's completely different. And to say that that's absolute shit is just so stupid, bro. That's so fucking stupid.
Speaking of underperformance, and we're gonna pivot to like some performing well. I've been really impressed. I don't know about you guys. I've been really impressed with how Methods has played in Search and Destroy so far. Like he's been on one.
He's been doing his thing, bro.
Like I know
He's
that was
clutch.
kind of like
He's
a
super
meme with
clutch
Zinni
right
for
now.
a minute, but like, bro, he's balling out. Not just in respawns, but in search, clutching up. Like we got to give props.
I mean, this is Zin's playground.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
like
Zin's been doing his
boots
thing
on the ground, 4v4, where it's not all about the movement, right? And certain mechanics in the game. Because he should look at World War II. I know it's a different game, but like, you know what I'm saying? The same mindset. Like he's when it's these type of CODs, he's gonna be a top AR player. He might not be the best, but like he'll be in the argument, you know, for like the top tier.
100%. He's been icy, bro. He's been clutching up. I've seen him do multiple clutches now. Like, it's good to have a player like that that's got the ice. It's like Dylan, right? With his 1v1s. Like, whenever he's in a 1v1, you just feel 90% of the time he's winning it because he's just so talented at 1v1s. He's good at reading the play, and he knows what he's doing. And right now, Zinni just seems like he's clutch. I mean, he clutched up against Priesta, one of the best players in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Zinni, man. Got to give props where props is due. You know, he's doing his thing. Me and Ben and I were talking about it when we were watching. We were like, yo, Zinni's doing his thing. He's been playing well.
That being said, they did lose his map. They were up 4-1. They ended up losing.
Yeah, they lose the map. They lose the map. Again, another blender. Another blender. Minnesota's a good team. I think it's one of those things where like teams are going up and they're building themselves a lead in S&D and they're not changing it up. They just keep doing the same shit because it's working. But at the same time, just because it worked for 4 rounds straight doesn't mean it's gonna work for the next 4. Like, you have to adapt. You know that the other team are professional players and they're going to change up how they're playing. So it's one of those things where, like, Toronto is probably looking at this back and they're like, damn, like, we should have clutched this up. Like, we should have won this. And they're going to go back and watch it and realize, you know, there's probably little mistakes in there in their strat calls. And they just got to change it up a little bit. They're going to learn as time goes on. All these teams are. And it's just going to get more competitive as time goes on. But just a lot of chokes all day, man. From one series to the next. It's just nonstop chokes, nonstop mistakes. And we'll see, man. Going on to further podcasts, we'll see as we watch this back if teams are playing better and they're making less mistakes. I feel like they are. You know, as time goes on, I feel like teams are going to be making less mistakes. That's how it is every year, is it not, Ian? You've been a pro player. As the year goes on, teams just get better.
Oh, yeah. At the end of the year, it just comes down to fucking who's executing. Everyone knows how to play the game as best as you possibly can in that year.
Yep.
Now, I have a question, though, for both of you. Do you think Minnesota can fix their pacing issue with the players they have? Like, do you think someone on the team can step up and be more aggressive or whatever the case may be? Or do you think that they're going to have to make a team change to
they might need to make a change.
I think they can, but I think...
Which is what everybody wants to hear, right? This is all they want to fucking hear, don't you guys?
Let me ice break this, because I don't care about making this point.
Yeah.
I think they just got to... There are a couple players in their team that can play faster. They just got to play more selfless.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, who would be? I don't know.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like who. Now it's like who, and that's where the Reddit posts come in.
Dylan does not need to be the main AR.
You know what I'm
needs
saying?
to be on AR. Okay.
And that's a thing, bro. We don't know what's going on in their camp, and it's like even tomorrow, right? Like I said, if they come out and they shit the sheets again, you could talk about a change. You can, because maybe they haven't been looking good in practice. Maybe a certain player hasn't been performing in practices. Maybe they haven't been performing in the past league matches, and they're not performing now at the biggest stage, the first major. Now you talk about a change, right? I don't like doing it after one series. I like doing it over time, over a certain amount of time. Now I don't like to drag it out and wait months on months and then be like, okay, like now it's like you got to make a fucking change. Like, what the heck's going on? But yeah, they just need to. They're out. Are they out?
Yeah.
They're done? Okay. Wait,
Yeah.
Ben, I asked you if they were in winners, and you said yes.
No, when did I say that?
Right before they were playing.
Ooh.
I didn't say that.
When they lost, they said, are they out? And you said, no, they're
No,
winners.
you're making up.
Oh,
things.
okay, I'm making it
Wait,
up.
can Major run a sub though? Like, you think he would be? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, their issue is either they.
I mean, he doesn't have to necessarily even be good with it. By the way, he just has to be selfless. And
So what do you think? Do you think they make a change?
I think the problem is, let's say you don't want to swap out personnel on the team. Like, I think the easiest thing is to try and get Dylan to play faster and try to get him to team up with Preston more and to start making more plays. That's not necessarily Dylan's play style. Dylan's more of like a methodical sub player. So either him or Mike, Major Maniac, is going to have to play a little bit quicker and maybe bait for Preston. Like, they're just going to, they've got a week and a half now ish. If we get kind of a little bit of a break going into the second stage to try and figure things out, try new things, try and mix up hardpoint. Again, like, their other game modes are solid, but they got to just start experimenting more in hardpoint to figure out how to
I think
start trying to
Wait,
win more of these
who's the
maps.
best aggro sub not in the league? Is it Nato? Is it Nato right now?
It
Not
might
like
be.
probably Paul X.
Is Paul X a sub?
Yeah,
I
Paul
would-
X
I-
now he
that's
is.
really good.
I wouldn't be surprised if, they.
Make a
I mean,
change.
I don't know what's going on there, Cam. Like you said, I would not be surprised though if they go after Nato or whoever, one of the other challenger subs, aggressive subs that people are gassing up.
Yeah, it could happen.
It's just,
Yeah.
It could happen.
yeah. There's a
Paul's
certain
right to say
point.
now, guys.
There's a certain point where it's just like, your team dynamic doesn't work. Like,
Yeah.
Tom, me and you have been on multiple teams in our career where you just have to accept it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it
matter
doesn't
if you're
work.
quoting me or
Yeah,
just like,
you
yo,
gotta accept it, and somebody
you
has
would
to
be
go.
great on a different team. You on our team right now though, with what we need, is just not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna
No,
work.
100%. And that's where it comes down to, like, you can't just look at this one series. Like, Minnesota's going to have to make their decision based off their past few weeks. And based off, their comms, their teamwork, their practices, their match in the major. You gotta make your decisions off everything, right? Like, you don't just want to make your decision because, oh, this guy just shit the bed this series, he's gone. Like, be smart with your decision making, and maybe they do need to change. Maybe they do. That's something that they
I want
need
to talk about
to
this
talk
round
about.
because
This
I
was
don't-
a blend. This was
yeah.
a
So
this was
I
a
don't
bad
think this is a comms issue. I think Preston makes a classical mistake here, which is he takes too long to call in his streaks. He's calling to his team. Watch how long it takes for him to put these spots down. 1 second, 2 seconds. Like, he's only spending 3-4 seconds. At this point, people
I mean, it's
can
hard
move
as
around the
fuck to
plane.
streak in this fucking
It is
map,
hard
isn't
as
it?
fuck
Yeah,
to
yeah, and
streak.
people
Is there
running around the
secrets I don't know
plane,
about?
like
Yeah,
what?
it is
Like
hard as
it's
fuck to
it's
streak.
hard.
If I had streaks on this map, which I probably wouldn't, I fucking would never call them bitches in.
Yeah.
This man is really hard
Yeah,
to
I wouldn't
call
even
these
call
on
him
the
in.
Like,
Deadass. Don't even fucking call
I
him
would
in.
just use it as a confidence booster. Like, yo, I'm frying. I got streaks.
Yeah.
The streaks are great if you're trying to kill someone long. When you're trying to kill someone in
Yeah.
the plane or like back, like anywhere where it's
Good
mixing
shots
on
at
the
his
map.
in, by the way. Good shots
Yeah.
right there.
Ooh.
It's good shots. A little
Yeah, I
fleeky
mean,
1v1.
typical shots at his in again,
He's
clutching
showing
up in
clutch,
SMD.
clutching up, just doing his thing. And then it just goes 5-5. Minnesota takes it anyway.
Yeah.
So
Someone's calling me casual in chat. Like, okay, brother.
Casual.
Someone's calling me casual, huh?
No bullshit. I thought that Minnesota was in winners for some reason, and that they were still good. I don't know why. I'm like
Yeah,
90.
you might be blasted for that.
I'm like
brother.
no, I could be blasted for that. You could call me faded for that. I'm like 75% positive. I asked you, Ben, or I asked somebody, and somebody told me that they're in
It's all
winners.
good. Someone can run back the VOD and let me know if I'm on base.
No, not in the podcast. It was before we
Oh.
were watching it. We were
Oh,
watching
we
it
were, like,
back
group
in the
chatting with,
TeamSpeak,
like-
and I said when they lost, I said, "Wait, are they out?" And somebody, and I thought it was you, said, "No, they're not
No, I
out.
think
They
I
can
walked
make a
away.
run."
Let's blame RJ because RJ was there when this happened.
Bro,
He's
the
easy
thing
target.
that
No, it wasn't
sucks
RJ.
about this team is it would be so like hardpoint's the easiest game mode to be good at.
Yeah,
Like all these this is the most practiced game
yeah,
or mode.
yeah.
And like the fact that they're not even average at it right now, like if they do go the route of making a team change, like you said, they're one of the best S&D teams in the game right now,
Yeah.
right, Ben? You said their control is solid.
hmm
Like, dude, they just need to win one, be
Yeah.
50%.
Yeah.
That's it in a series. Just win one, and they would be like maybe not a contender, but they'd be able to challenge all the top teams for sure. I mean, they fucking beat Dallas in the regular season or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But like, dude, the fact that it's hardpoint, which is hurting them, sucks.
Yeah.
Because they probably will end up making a team. Like
Yeah, we'll see, bro. We'll see. That's ultimately up to them. We could sit here and say whatever we want about team changes and if they should change or not, and who they should get. But at the end of the day, they know better than us. And the thing is now they can't be pussies about it. You know what I'm saying? If they if they know they need a change, they gotta make a change. Like and that's bro, that comes in from the coaching staff too. No friendships. If you're watching scrims every day, if they're not performing and someone needs to go. Blatantly needs to go, then and there's people on the sidelines that are ready to go to really add some life to this team, then do it. Do it. At least try it in scrims, right? You got time to practice. There's no harm in subbing people in and out. That's the real world. We're in the professional world now, man. At the highest level in any sport, if somebody's not playing well or they feel like they need to change, they sub people in and out. That's what subs are for. So
wait, who is their sub? Do they have a sub?
their sub is fucking Brian Saint. They don't even think.
Yo,
why do teams do this shit?
Not subbing his ass then.
I don't understand. You have an opportunity. They have an opportunity, man, to get a really good sub player on the bench just in case things go fucking south. If you're a coach, if I'm ever a coach one day, I want my sub to be nasty because if something's going wrong.
So this again, I don't want to harp on this too much, and I really don't want to roast the management too hard on Minnesota. But bro, you had Asim on the roster. He sat around and wasn't signed for essentially all of the winter.
Well, Asim wasn't gonna get in the league.
He wasn't going to get in the league.
He was done. Mind-blowing.
You could have gone to Asim after the season and said, look, we don't have a spot for you right now. We're going to bring you on as a sub. If you end up on another team, we'll figure out how to get you in your situation, but you can kind of chill with us and we'll pay you salary. Instead, they didn't. He went to New York, and now they don't have that flexibility to pick him up.
Even a team,
and he's excelling over there.
Even a team like FaZe, right? They're so talented across the board. Who do they pick up as their sub? Sib,
Like
right? Who's such a talented player.
There.
They have a backup just in case. What if somebody breaks their hand? Look at me. Look at what if somebody fucks up their hand? At the end of the day, you can always go out.
What if they miss a thumb? What if they miss a thumb?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if they're missing a fucking thumb? At the end of the day, though, if anything were to happen, they can always go out and sign somebody.
I think, but I think it goes back to what Ben said earlier about Florida. That's why Florida's probably been the best at finding new up and coming players, right? I know that they have Awakening and possibly Neptune. But like Ogre 2's their fucking GM. And I don't want to roast the management for a lot of teams either. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these cats, I get it. They're trying to make it similar to professional sports, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of these people that they're hiring don't know a lick about who, like what is right, what is
they actually don't.
Like I said it when Minnesota was first built. Why? I don't know what the talks were, but you have Asim. Like you're building this team, if you actually know the players,
I thought they were building the team around him.
Why?
It's the one move that's confusing.
I thought they were building the team around Asim. Bro, I remember when Asim came to me and said, "Yo, I just got dropped." My eyes lit up. I said, "You did? Welcome to New York." I said, "You got fucking dropped." I said, "How the hell did you get dropped?" And then he told me everything that was going on. I said, "All right, I'm gonna make a phone call." And then things were a little choppy for a couple weeks. They were a little choppy trying to get Asim on the team because there was a lot of players in the mix, but I fought for him and he's been playing well. He's been playing really well, and he played well last year with Minnesota. He played well.
Who's getting paid to because I know from fucking just talking to the people, it's not like it was right where it used to just be the players made the decisions for a long time in COD. Some maybe they have more input.
Still run that way.
Look at this guy in the chat. Look at this guy. Asim had a .8 last year. Their team was shit. Their team was shit.
He's talking fuck all. That's the other thing, bro.
It's a fucking team game.
I'm not gonna get into that, but
Jesus fuck.
Ben, like you said,
yeah.
But dude, there's others where the management has full control, and it's like, okay, if you go that route, hire motherfuckers who know what they're doing.
Hold on, I don't want to totally roast Minnesota. To be fair to Minnesota, I think they upgraded their roster from last year. I think that not retaining Asim was like the one wrong step that they made this year because they would have had that flexibility and they could have had a pretty easy fix to their current situation. But all things considered, if they figure out this issue, they have a much better team this year than they had last year. I think we all agree on that, correct?
I mean, yeah, they have better talent, but it's like, bro, you had Asim and Alex on your team last year. Like if you wanted, because I'm pretty sure Lamar and Dylan were like their top 2 picks, right?
Yeah.
If you're building a team around accuracy and Attach, who is a slower sub player, why would you go out and then get another player who played main AR last year in Major Maniac and Priest is a good pickup. And it's something,
it's one of those things too when the team was made.
It's like
everybody said it when the team was made. Did it not? All the pros said it. The fans are saying it. Everybody's
saying
it's weird. We were talking
about Tommy. We're like, I love Preston and Mike, love Lamar and Dylan.
No, that has nothing to do with talent. Yeah, it has nothing to do with talent.
They're a very talented team.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with talent.
Dynamic doesn't work.
You would have been in a situation, okay, you could have given everybody what they wanted. Preston and Mike don't split up because I'm sure Preston didn't want to do Mike dirty.
My dog just scared me.
You keep Asim. because he was probably the one bright spot in their season last year.
No,
And
he had a
suddenly
.8. He sucks.
You have a 5-man roster. Asim's your sub. You have a starting 4. If it doesn't work, you bring an Asim. Like they could have had everything, and that one wrong move. Now in retrospect, you're gonna have to figure out how to find potentially a hedge against their current roster.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, 100%.
That's why you can't. It doesn't like you want talent, but you also need to have the right group of players.
Bro, it's like, what is Priest's stats right now, guys?
He's got a point. He's probably
What does he got? What's his? What does he have? He's got to be negative. He's got to be.
No, oh no, he has like a .8. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure.
so he's fucking shit. Is that what we're saying? Come on, guys. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
we've
this
talked
shit.
about KD and everything.
Come
We're
on,
all
bro.
talking about
Like
Dude,
I don't
way
know.
more.
I can't believe this is still talked about. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. We talked about this on the podcast one of these nights, Ben, where we're like, dude, watch the game and break down the stats with the game. You know what I'm saying?
Tommy, maybe for the off week we should do like a
Jesus
pros,
fuck,
we should
man.
do like a pros panel and talk about KD because I'm actually really curious, like on the pro side, how people like would evaluate personnel by not like what other metrics you're going to use other than KD, because I think it's a robust discussion we can have. Because the KD talk, to me, I just think a lot of casual watchers or people that don't intently follow don't understand like what they should be looking for.
They see Formal have a 1.3. They're trying to figure out why Asim doesn't have a 1.3. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. One motherfucker is in the back while the enemy's shooting at his teammates a lot, and the other one's in the front lines, the one who's getting fucking shot
And then
at
you
by
go back to our initial point. The pacing might be off. This might be off. The teamwork's off. There's solo challenge. There's so much different shit
that goes into it.
Yeah, we're gonna do this, Tommy. We're gonna get a pro on. I want to get one of the really smart.
It just makes my blood boil, man. It makes me so mad, bro.
You know why? Not to keep it going on, Ben.
Yeah.
But when if pros bring it up, well, I shouldn't say pros. If people that maybe the ones that are getting roasted bring it up, or because like it's their role in the team, right?
Yeah.
Like if fucking Preston right now, he's got a whatever 0.9, 0.8, whatever. People are like, oh, your ass, you got a 0.8, and he was talking about. They'd be like, you're just saying KD don't matter because you're getting shit on.
Yeah.
Like,
bro, there's people who have won events
you can't actually
with
have
a 0.8. There's people who have won events with a 0.8, 0.9 negative KDs.
In World War II.
Like, bro, stop.
Motherfucking Theory had a 0.6
Stop.
in an event they won.
Now, bro, if you want to break down stats, that's fine, but break them down the right way. Don't just say his KD is this, so he's shit. Why is he shit? Why do you think he's shit? Is it his decision making? Is it this? Is he costing the team?
And it goes the other way too. There are
what
players
the fuck?
that have KDs and have no impact on the map.
Yes.
And I
don't.
have a discussion about that.
Oh, phew.
What'd you say?
People
There
who
are
have
players
great
that-
KDs
Great KDs, but they're
and don't
doing
do
zero,
shit. They're doing
zero
fuck on the map.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck
no,
all.
they're the best. MVP. They should be in the running of MVP. They're getting last, but they should be MVP. Like, come on. What the fuck, guys? We should speed this up, though. We've been dragging this on.
Okay,
Speed it up.
So let's go to the S&E because this is a disappointing map for Minnesota. I don't know what the F was going on with some of their setups that we watched here. I mean, Tom, you and I were watching this together, and we were losing like absolute composure. I didn't like bookmark any rounds, honestly, so we'll just kind of like skip through real quick.
Now the guys are roasting Octane. You guys are something else. You guys are something else, man. Holy shit. Jesus.
I'm just curious. So Ultra won the first round.
My God. I
Minnesota
can't.
get bogged down.
I'm losing composure.
So
my God.
So Toronto won the first defense, and then they won their offense, basically same setup we saw Florida play.
This was tricky. The last couple maps, Lamar had a rough last couple maps, man.
Yeah, this one was unfortunate.
The S&D just seemed sloppy for Minnesota. Toronto did a good job making plays. They got map control most of the time, and they were just making plays on the map. They seemed like they were just ahead of the game here in this S&D. They were in full force. This boat control is fucking everything too, bro. Like when somebody gets pushed up,
is OP as
it's
hell.
OP, bro. You can't get people out of it. It's a really good spot to play.
I think this S&D goes back to what you guys were saying earlier. It's like you try shit in S&D, and like you can keep doing it until it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then once it doesn't work, you need to switch it up.
Yeah. You gotta.
Like,
but sometimes it's working, and then you got to switch it up before it becomes stale.
Well,
you gotta throw the
that's
other
fair.
part of the combo.
That's fair. But like, what's that quote? It's like doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. That's what if you do the same strat. If you got two strats, one for offense, one for defense.
The definition of insanity.
Well, yeah,
over and over expecting the
you
same
know
result.
what I fucking meant, man. Like
Yeah.
this is how you get picked apart, which is currently happening.
Bro, how the fuck did Mike get here? Did he just run up mid?
I think he just ran up the alley.
That's a good play, man. He made a play. I mean, those are one of those things, right? You're down 0-3. Mike's like, I'm making a play. Right? You're down
Let's
0-3.
see.
Nothing's working. He was like, fuck it. I'm going to make a play. He ran up mid, and he got behind him. He got into the alley, and he made a play. He broke down the setup.
He got really good timing. Do you notice? So normally you have a guy like pushed up. He's watching that cross like in the alley. They backed up right as he hit this. So like he got the perfect window because Cam can't see what's under him. So Mike just found the lane and pushed it.
So Dylan, in the post-game interview with Minnesota, they asked Dylan what they think the problem is, and he says that they're just making small mistakes. So that's what Dylan said.
I
Somebody
don't.
said
I
in the
don't.
chat.
I think that's a little capish.
Well, yeah, but
Which
to
could be,
stick up-
you know.
it's not to stick up for Dylan, but that's how, like, whenever pacing is brought up, pros get tight. You know, if you're talking like and that's not at Dylan. This goes for anyone, majority of the pros. If you tell someone who thinks that they're playing good, yo, you're playing too slow, they look at that like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I'm playing perfect. Like, I'm frying.
Yeah. Good shots at it.
That's always been like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then, I mean, this was just pretty much a blender. Ben, just keep moving it forward. I'm pretty sure we've been going on. How long? What's the uptime right now?
We're at like 2 hours.
Yeah, I got
Come on, we've been doing this shit for 2 hours.
But we had some good discussions.
No, we did. We did have great discussions. I just,
into
I feel bad keeping it too long, because people probably get like bored,
I mean, this map
swears.
was
But we have been
like,
keeping it moving. There's just a lot to talk about, guys. A lot of matches today.
They won one round, guys. Like I'm gonna speed through this, but this was basically the extent of the match.
It was just
Only
Toronto just
traffic.
pouncing on him, man. And
picked
Dylan
apart.
was frustrated. You saw him turn the cam off. I know Dylan, man. I could see it in his eyes, bro. He was pissed off. They're going to come back with full force. They're going to go back to the drawing board, whether that's making a roster change or just going back to practice and really focusing on their mistakes. I don't know what they think the problem is. We obviously put in our opinions on what the problem was, but we'll see. We'll see what they do moving forward, and we'll talk about it next live on the flank. You know what I'm saying? But moving on to tomorrow. Look at Zin. Look at it. All smiles coming out of Zin.
Handsome motherfucker right there.
He's handsome. He's beautiful. Look at those eyes. And then we move on to tomorrow. Ben, did they show the bracket on the stream?
I'm seducing me right now.
I'm trying to find it. Give me a second.
I'm curious. We
I'll send you the tweet to pull
obviously
up.
have the OpTic Dallas series, right? We got the OpTic Dallas coming up. I'm curious to see what kind of matchups we got tomorrow. It's kind of hard for me to keep up with this stuff, man. I just kind of look at it as it pops up.
Results. Well,
But I hope you guys
$4.
are enjoying the podcast. I hope you are. And guys, real quick before we get into predictions, we have our opinions. You guys have your opinions. At the end of the day, people's opinions are gonna differ. So I don't want to see no dumb shit like, oh, ZooMaa's an idiot. Ian doesn't know what he's talking about. But listen, man, it doesn't make us idiots for putting in our opinions.
It's simple. We're right, they're wrong.
Yeah, like we don't. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't look at it like that, guys. We understand you guys have
You
opinions.
think I'm
we have
telling LeBron
opinions.
James what the fuck he's doing wrong on a basketball court?
Exactly. And maybe something maybe LeBron is doing something wrong, and all the fans notice it, and he just won't admit it. Like who knows? But for the most part,
someone roast me for because I said that before, and people were like, "You trying to compare yourself to LeBron?" Oh, you think I'm telling J.R. Smith what the fuck he's doing wrong on a basketball court? No. I'm not, because I know for a fact I don't know damn near.
At the end of the day, man, it's all opinions, and the pros might disagree, the fans might disagree, people on Reddit might disagree, but it's all love at the end of the day, man. We're just trying to have a nice, friendly podcast. Because I saw a lot of toxic, posted. The chat was crazy. You guys are crazy, bro. You guys are nuts. I was reading it as we were doing this, and I ignored most of it. I obviously had my outburst on a couple things, but at the end of the day, man, they're just opinions, and they could be right, they could be wrong, but we're just giving you our insight as, I played professionally for many years. Ian played professionally for many years. Ben's more
I don't know what the fuck Ben's talking about.
Ben is just fucking. I like Ben because he's more on the analytical side. He's pulling up stats. He's always bringing up the brackets and stuff. And he watches COD. He's been watching COD for years to come, and he's been around a lot of the pro players and listens to what a lot of us talk about. So
I try to absorb and learn.
It's always good to have insight from somebody who's not a pro player, and he's just observing from the outside looking in. So I love having Ben on the show. So shout out to Ben. But let's take a look. Let's get a duo. We got these matches coming up. We got FaZe versus LAG. I got FaZe 3-1.
Yeah,
I think LAG might be able to sneak a map. What do you got, Ian?
This might be like the Toronto series against FaZe. I think I got a 3-1.
I got a FaZe on this one.
Like I want to say 3-0, 3-1 FaZe, but knowing just how the matches in general have went so far, not even in the major, necessarily, but just the first first stage, whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised like if this went to a game 5. But I think FaZe is the best team in the game. So you got to go them.
Yeah.
I'll say 3-1.
All right, and then we got Empire versus OpTic. I got OpTic.
Oh man.
I got OpTic 3-2. I think it's going to be a nail biter, but I think OpTic for some reason just has an edge on them. Dallas looks a little shaky, but I don't know what Dallas we're going to see tomorrow because when they're on point, they're really hard to beat. They're obviously the world champions.
Tom, let me interrupt you 1 second.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
do your
I saw
thing.
motherfucker Don snaps your chat. I'm sorry.
What's he saying?
He said that logic is stupid. How does Eric Spoelstra get to tell LeBron what's wrong right then? Because he is a coach who has studied the game of basketball his whole life. He's not some random motherfucker on courtside. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, drinking a brew on courtside.
It's
Didn't LeBron
different.
get one of those people tossed out a month ago?
It's different if Crowder's
Somebody was
giving
running
his
their mouth.
opinion and Don fucking snaps is in the chat. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. I just motherfuckers don't think before they speak. Keep going though.
Well, we got OpTic versus Dallas. I got 3-2 OpTic. What do you guys got?
I'm gonna fold up and also agree 3-2 OpTic. I think they look really good right now. I really like Dallas as a team. I just think OpTic is in another gear as them right now.
Okay, and then we got Ian. Who did you got?
I think if OpTic plays the way they did, I think it'll
They
be
look good.
3-1. But
OpTic looks great.
it's just hard to tell because Dallas has been streaky. If Dallas comes out and plays up to their potential, I think that's going game 5.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I said we don't know what Dallas we're gonna get. So we'll see tomorrow, and then we got Florida versus New York. I'm obviously gonna say New York, but I'm curious to see what you guys think.
I got New York 3-1, but we need the old New York. If they played the way
Not
they
the
did
New York we
yesterday,
saw
this
today.
series is going to
And
be
I think that's what Clay's
crazy.
been talking about. Is
Yeah.
he needs to see some consistency. He doesn't want to see fire one day and just being ice cold the next.
Because Florida's got some danger. Florida, it's a similar problem they had when they played against OpTic. The air players in Florida are very good.
Yeah.
So you cannot let Skies and Big Way get hot in this series.
I agree.
If you're NY.
And then, who you got, Ian?
For me, even though Florida on the side for them, they don't have much experience either. They have a lot more than New York. And what I was worried about is subliners losing to OpTic, being losers, not having the experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being nervous. So I have
Tough pick.
dude, it's a tough one. Because I think subliners is the better team.
Yeah.
But I think that lack of experience could bite them in the ass, being loose bracket. But I think they're gonna edge it out close series 3-2.
Okay, that's a good prediction. I just think it's gonna be a close series. It all depends, guys, right? Because COD's so day to day, and some teams are more consistent than others. And I think Florida and New York, anything could happen in that series. So that's a tough one. But I got New York. Ben's got New York. Ian's got Florida, and then we got Toronto versus.
I got New York. I got New York too.
Oh, you got New York? Okay, so
Yeah.
3 New York. We'll see how that goes. And then we got Toronto versus LA Thieves. I got Toronto. I think LA Thieves look shaky, man. They, for some reason, and again, what you were saying, Ian, just based off the personalities on the team and stuff, I hope they're not taking the L too bad, but they did get, it was a bad L. So I don't know how they're reacting to it. But Toronto is probably feeling nice. So I got Toronto.
I mean, obviously, I got to root for the Thieves here. That's clear as day. But losing to Gorillas today, a team that I'm assuming majority of the people thought that they would beat.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing their personalities, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to Toronto. Because whenever you're kind of in the mindset, dude, we're fucking, our team is chalked. And I'm not saying they are because I don't know. I don't speak on things like this with them. But, we're chalked, dude. We're not on the same page. You're never going to improve and you're not going to be able to win.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So I think these are going to win. I'm not going to give a series score, but I would not be surprised in the slightest. LA needs to come out hot tomorrow. They need to. I'll say this on that. They need to come out and dominate. Yeah. Even if they win, say 3-2, they're going to be fucking heated.
Yeah.
I hate to bring this up, Tom, but Black Ops 4 champs.
Yep.
When we lost to LG, right, a team that fucking everyone, their mom had us beating round 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we should have fucking lost you guys, but when we came back, your crazy fucking comeback, we were all still livid.
Yeah, because it shouldn't have been like that.
Yeah, because it's just bro, why are we in this situation?
Yeah.
I think that is the mindset that they have. So if they go out and they handle business, I think that's needed. If they lose this series, bro, I don't know.
We'll see what happens,
they have
man.
a
Again,
future-
it's one of those things where they gotta go back to the drawing board and look at how they've been performing in past matches, throughout the league, throughout their practices, and now the major. You might talk about a team change, or I don't know. That's something that they gotta talk about. But Ben, who do you got?
Well, I'm looking through the map pool and trying to do the videos in my head, and I have actually feeling that the way the map pool is going to shake out in this series, there's going to be a game fiver. It's really tough to pick a game 5. I'm going to toss on the Thieves End because I feel like they have more ability on their team to close out. It'd be a really tough for us for Toronto to end here. But I agree, Ian. Like, if you're Thieves at this point, you got to start grabbing momentum by the horns here and start turning it around and make these losers run. You don't want to end up going out of this tournament after losing 3 straight series.
At the end of the day, a lot of these series can go either way.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the FaZe LAG. I feel like FaZe has that, but I don't know. LAG showed life today, so
I said FaZe plays with their food, but like, you know,
we'll see.
I feel like
I
I feel pretty confident that I'd be thoroughly shocked if FaZe lost that series.
Yeah,
I just think that the talent and they're slaying, especially in respawn, their S&D prowess. I don't see like a lot of mismatch.
Yeah.
They're also probably not going to square up on Crossroads with LAG, but we'll see. Obviously.
And then after the predictions, guys, we'll take a few questions in the chat, and we'll end it there. We'll take like 3 or 4 questions and call it a day, man. We've been going on for a couple hours now, so any questions in the chat? I know you guys have been asking away, but we've been talking. So who do I have? Dallas versus OpTic. I said OpTic, man. It can obviously go either way. 2 great teams, but I got OpTic coming out on top.
What do you think is happening with Hydra? Man, like, the guy has lived in France his whole life. He's a young kid. Everybody needs to chill. Let him move here, get settled. I'm sure the welcoming committee, the players on New York are going to try to get him ingrained in New York culture, not New York culture, American culture, because a big shock moving from one country to another.
Yeah.
Especially a French-speaking country to an English-speaking country.
Yeah.
Guys, give him time, bro. He's going to play challengers. He's got to get used to how North America kind of operates. Let him ease in. Like, they don't want to just throw him into the deep end. Like, it's a similar experience that I had, and I would love to get Sulliam on to kind of talk about it candidly. Like, he was kind of in a similar situation. I mean, he lived in the States, so he had that going for him. But, like, it's really tough, dude, where you're literally the first big team that you play on is, like, a massive pro team.
Yeah.
And it's getting tossed in the deep end. I don't think they want to do that. Yeah.
On a
So they're going to ease him in. Guys. Like, I just see people like, oh, Hydra's going to
give it time, guys. Give it time. You guys don't even know jack shit about Hydra. All you guys know is he's been frying in amateurs. That's all you guys know.
Yeah.
I'm excited though to see how he does.
He's talented. He's very talented.
So, I don't really know anything about him.
Yeah, he's really good.
I see a good question here that I want to ask.
Wait,
I'm going to ask Ian first. Go
All
ahead.
right,
Is it the why am I washed? I saw that one. That
No, but that one's good.
I just want to bend real quick because I saw this person put it in the chat. Like, even since the middle of the podcast, he said, "Who's the most underrated, Cammy or Kleenex?" I think they're both really good.
Dude, they're nasty.
I think
both
they're
of them are nasty.
I think they're just good together. I think they're really good together. Just as a duo, I think they work off each other really well. So both of them, man, it's hard to pick between one. But what were you gonna say, Ben?
So I think that we can end on this question because I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of debate on this one.
All right.
Do you think London dropping the Twins in the offseason was their biggest mistake? That's from Sheedsy in the chat.
Yeah, because they played top 4 at champs, and they obviously had some good showings throughout the year. It was weird to see them to scrap the whole team. It wasn't them making a change that was weird to me. It was the change that they made and how they just scrapped the whole team, and how they just changed the whole.
No pun intended with that.
Yeah, no pun intended. How they just I don't know, bro. It was just weird, and I thought that Scraps and Wu were like their babies. I thought that was like their.
But let me give a hot take about this. Let me give a hot take about this. Right? They only got good once they picked up Trey. They were like so wobbly in the beginning of the year, and like
here we go again with wobbly
because Wusk was like balling out with a sniper and search, but like they started to get consistently good when Trey got on the team. So I wouldn't say that's their biggest mistake. I think the problem with their team is stem from last year, the fact that like their core SMG slayers aren't the most consistent slayers in the world.
Yeah.
And that's not giving them like the top tier results they need to really challenge people. And I think when Trey gets back into this team and he can have an impact and be involved more in sort of the team strategy and the comms, like I think you'll see more of a difference, but they definitely need the rest of the players in that team to step up. And now they've got a lot of players to play with. Zed's on the roster. They can play around with, so I'm curious to see how it works out.
What about you, Ian? What you think?
I don't was their biggest mistake. I don't think it was their biggest mistake. I kind of agree with you on how they constructed their team after the fact. Obviously, ideally they would want Trey on the team and whatever. But like I know a lot of the pro community, right?
Yeah.
And before I get fucking cooked.
Trey 0, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
I want to hit his take though.
Yeah, are you ready? Because I'm finna get cooked. Because I think they're good players, the Twins, right? And you, Tom, because we've been in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of top pros don't value Scraps and Wuskins because of their play style.
Yep.
Okay. When it comes down to not only just being talented, but being able to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if that was London's mindset, I don't think it was, the biggest mistake. But then they just constructed a team that, I mean, even on paper with Trey, I don't think would have, I don't think that they would have been any worse with the Twins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree with that.
I think the Twins have more potential because they're very talented, in their own roles.
Yeah.
But I think once again it goes back to management. Half of these motherfuckers don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I don't think
they were in my head, in my opinion, they probably thought let's drop Scraps and Wuskins. I don't know what went on behind the scenes, but they didn't think about we're gonna drop them. Who are we gonna pick up to be better? They just dropped them, and then they were like, "Oh shit, now what?"
Yeah.
They had a chance to get Alex and Asim on the team, by the way. I know that was a package deal that the two of them were trying to get on, and it didn't work out.
And no surprise, that they didn't do that because once again, half these motherfuckers are stupid. Simple as that. And they just don't know COD. That's it.
And to go back to that point, you're saying like Wuskin and Scraps, like their play styles and stuff. It also could come down to who's around Wuskin and Scraps.
I agree.
It's based on like the whole team as a whole. I think Wuskin and Scraps are amazing players, and I think Wuskin should definitely be in the league. I think it's crazy that
they have the talent. Yeah, they have the talent.
He should be in the league. Sure. He's a really good player. He should be in the league. It all comes down to how the team is made as a whole instead of just looking at it as individuals. And if this guy's good and this guy's good, some guy in the chat just said, "Why are you guys saying Wuskin is shit?" I don't understand when we said that at all. So you're just not fucking listening. But that's just besides my point. I think they just need to. I think they just need to build a better team as a whole. And I think right now they're in a tough spot. Obviously with 0 in London, he's stuck there, and they're just bringing people in and out. Alex with the family issues. I really hope everything's okay over there. I thought that team was gonna show a little bit more signs of life, but they are going through a bunch of shit right now, and they're in a tough situation. So we'll see what happens. But I would love to see Wu back in the chat. I would love back in the league. What's up?
I'm gonna bounce to one more question and then we can dip.
All right.
What are you guys' thought on the fact that Group A is winless in this major so far? Group B, from the beginning of stage 1, has won every single match in the bracket so far.
Yeah, that's what Mama Zuma keeps saying in the chat. She keeps saying that Group B is a lot
Mama
better.
Zuma's smart. Who is
she
that?
Knows. She knows.
Zuma?
She knows.
Smart.
Trust me, she's been living with an absolute god for years.
Your mom got more knowledge than half.
She does. She does. My mom knows a lot because I rant to my mom a lot. I talk. It's funny because I do talk to my mom about COD a lot, and she watches a lot.
I love your mom.
And she knows, man. Like she knows some stuff, But she is right. I mean, Group B just seems like the stronger group, right? Everybody in Group A lost.
Yeah,
at least that's what I'm being told. So I mean, Group B just seems a lot stronger.
The only team that hasn't played yet is Dallas, but that's obviously because they got the bye. Everybody else, Thieves, Minnesota, London, New York, and Seattle have all lost.
Yeah. But we got some good matches ahead of us tomorrow, so I'm excited to watch these matches, and we'll obviously be live tomorrow after the matches, talking about it once again, live on the flank. So I appreciate everybody joining in the chat and listening to us and hearing us out. Thank you to Enable to come on and hop on and talk to us a little bit. It's always good to have.
Always, brother.
It's always good to have you here, man. Just to hear his mindset. He's obviously one of the best players to ever play the game. So just having him here was awesome. Shout out to Ben Nissim for joining me every single night.
Thank you.
You're the GOAT. You're my duo. And just shout out to you guys and everybody supporting the stream and stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube, so go check it out if you missed some of it. And we'll see you guys in the next